Okay, good morning, everyone. Hallelujah. Good morning. Okay, I know it's technically afternoon, but this whole, like, an hour changing back and forward and doing this whole, rigmarole that we do every year with the spring, forward an hour, losing an hour. So yeah, that fucked me up this morning, I'm not gonna lie. I totally forgot about it. I forgot it existed, actually. I forgot that daylight savings was a goddamn thing. Okay? I did. I literally did. I forgot it was a thing. Sorry, my bow is falling out. My bow is not cooperating, okay? You guys know pink's my favorite color. I can't pass up wearing pink. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing. It's not a thing. I love it. It did. It fucked me up. I'm telling you. I totally forgot. And to be fair, my minion had a sleepover last night, so I didn't get a lot of sleep, with little laughing voices running around the house. My little minion and her friend running around the house. 2 in the morning, I'm like, go to bed. Like, I love sleepovers for you guys. I love that for you. Okay, sleepovers were like some of the best memories I had as a kid. But like, go to bed. It's 2 in the morning, for the love of God. And then from 2, it turned to 3, and I was like, oh, okay. I forgot it was daylight savings. I did tell her. I texted her immediately, Meredith, when you told me, and I did tell her, I promise. I'm sorry that I'm a little late today, but again, daylight savings, guys. And then I'm just like a mess today. This is what happens when you lose an hour of sleep, folks. You don't sleep well to begin with. Then you become a klutz, like me right now. I'm a literal klutz at the moment. Okay? Give me some grace, all right? Give me some goddamn grace. Oh, thank you, Emma. I love you. I am loving the place. I do. Girl, listen, I got like no sleep. And to be fair, I had a concealer on underneath here. I had to just like cover my bags under my eyes and put like concealer there. I didn't put cover up on, but I just put some like freaking concealer here and was like, let's cover these bags from these children's mom problems. Let me see if I can move a little bit where I'm actually like, I feel like if I move it a little, I'm actually, okay, all right. Okay, I can work with this. Is better. This is better. Okay, perfect. Got it. Perfect. So, and I apologize for that. It's still echoey in here. I haven't put up my shelves and like stuff that goes in the room, so it's still echoey. Apologize. I promise I'll fix it soon. Also, I put this on my mic because I forgot I had this. I hope that helps the audio. I obviously can't hear myself, but I'm hoping for you guys it sounds a little better. But nonetheless, listen. I was happy for them to have a sleepover because it's my daughter's friend, and they used to live. We just moved, right? So they used to live across the street, and they're friends of ours. The adults are friends of ours. So they're our old neighbors and friends. And so essentially we used to just send the kids back and forth when they were playing. Literally, we lived on dead end streets. So it was one dead end street and then another dead end street next to it, right? And all my kids and her kids had to do was walk through my yard, go up my back gate, and take like 10 steps crossing that little tiny dead end street. And so we were used to just walking down to the end of the stairs, watching the kids cross over the grass, waving to the adults if we're not going to go ourselves, and like whatever. Now I live like, it's 6 minutes up the street. It's not so far, 6 minutes up the street. So the kids haven't been able to have like a play date since they used to, take the bus together, be together like all the time. They take the bus together every day. They get on, they get off, all that stuff. And they're like thick as thieves. So this was their first sleepover since then. So I was excited for them to be able to have that. So my neighbors have already come and seen the apartment and stuff, but I wanted the girls to be able to, have some of my best memories are sleepovers as a kid. Some of my best memories are sleepovers. I loved sleepovers when I was a kid. And I had friends that slept there. We used to pitch tents in my grandparents' backyard. In the neighborhood, boys would come over and like knock on our tent and run away. Ha ha ha, so funny. Like, but when I was a kid, that's like the stuff that I remember, I did not see it. Shut the hell up. Another shadow meltdown. Yes, it is the new place. Thank you so much. It's nice to see some of you. I know it's only the third show back, but I am trying to get into the rhythm of things. I missed all of you. Oh, hey, Space Coast. It's nice. It's nice to see so many of you. It really is. I'm going to have to look at that. Do we have a video of this? All right, we have a video. Is that like a thing? Do we have a video? Well, Elder's glue on those windows don't creep. I did not. Why didn't nobody tell me this? See, I love a good do-it-yourself. Thankfully, I now got stuff that like sticks to the window. You put like water on it and you like squeegee it, like all the bubbles off or whatever. It was like $6 on Amazon, but I had to get something so like, you know, we could shower without people looking at us, because who the hell puts a goddamn window in a shower? It's the first time I've ever had a window inside like the bathtub. So, but that is a good DIY. I appreciate that. See, I love a good do-it-yourself. I like crafty stuff. As you guys know, I make like t-shirts and cups and things, like not on a large scale. I used to do it on a large scale. I don't have time for it anymore. But on like a smaller scale, if someone wants me to like make a personalized shirt with a funny saying, they'll, you know, pay me to make something like that. Like, and it's few and far between nowadays, because like I just haven't done it in a while. But I make like pot holders and I have like little pockets on them. So what I do is I put like you can put a cookie, like a packet of cookie mix or a packet of cupcake mix or muffin mix in there. And then you get a spatula, right? And a spoon, and you put them all in the pocket. And then you write whatever funny saying you want on the front in the vinyl, and the heat vinyl. I'll heat vinyl it on. And then you wrap it all up in like a cellophane, essentially, in like a clear cellophane, and you put a bow on it, and boop, it's a gift. It's good for teachers and stuff. Hey, biker. Elmer's. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know you could do that. That is actually a good DIY, you know? I could add pink sprinkles to it. Listen, you're giving me all these good ideas, okay? You guys know me, and obviously the color pink. It's my thing, okay? Nobody will ever ruin the color pink for me. It's amazing, and I love it, okay? All right? Everything is pink, okay? Everything except my pots and pans at the moment. I used to have pink pots and pans, but those were like really old, and I had them for a really long time, and nothing was sticking to them anymore. So those had to go like 4 or 5 years ago, unfortunately. And I love that it's good ventilation. I've just never really seen it before. In all the places I've lived, I've never seen a window in the shower. It was like weird to me. I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, I opted to wear my bow today because I haven't worn my pink bow yet. I have a black one. I have a smaller pink one at home, but I haven't worn my pink bow yet. So I figured, what a day, like a lazy Sunday, to pop in my pink bow. You know what I'm saying? What a day. Let's pop on a little pink eyeshadow, give it a little smoky eye look, and call it a day. Although I'm not loving, I'm not loving my, God damn it, not loving this. I feel like it's giving, not, my lights aren't where they're supposed to be right now. Hello, lights. How are you today? Oh, that's fine, because it's kind of like side. Ooh, okay. Well, it's not cooperating with me. There we go. Let's try that. Let's try that. A little bit of lighting never hurt anybody. When I put the curtains up, it'll be better. Can I make a headband? I probably could if I took off the clip on it. And I got a headband, I could probably heat glue it on. I do have a heat glue gun somewhere in the box of like all of my like crafting stuff. I also make like open face lockets and bracelets and things. So I have like a lot of random crafting stuff like that. I used to drill and set pearls into jewelry, but my pearl drill broke a while back, so I don't have it anymore, and it was really expensive. But I do still have some that I already drilled that I could set into things. But I love like that's like my, you know, like woosah. Like you guys are my woosah now, but like before I had a show, like that was my way of just like woosah, you know, do some crafting. I still do it here and there, but like my sister also loves crafting. She has like a online store, although I know she's trying to clean it out right now because she's about to have a baby and stuff. But she makes like these amazing glass cups with these really cool lids, and she has like glass straws or plastic straws. But I've had her make me a couple cups, like the ones that I gave I paid my sister to make cups, bracelets. Mine says my name, and it says Saco 2025. And I had her make bracelets for all the girls, cups for all the girls, personalized stickers for all the girls. And then I added a couple little personalized other things for goodie bags from when we went to Saco last year for Kara and Jackie, because that's what I do. I mean, I would have made the guys ones too, but what do you really put in a goodie bag for guys? But like every year we do one real vacation, and it's usually only a couple days. And for me, it's like the more the merrier. I want everyone to come and just have a good time. And because like that's my time to like breathe, right? No kids, just adults. And like it's one time a year that you can get friends together to just be, you know? And so every year I put it out there. We go at the end of July. Anyone is welcome. I am more than happy. We usually we do one of two ways. We'll camp out on the beach, on the river, or we'll do an Airbnb. Airbnb seems to be the better option because then you don't have to pack all of the camping stuff, and it's a lot of stuff you need to like survive a couple days out there. And it's just easier to throw in for like an Airbnb. But it's one of those like traditions that I started a couple of years back, and it's my like one thing that I look forward to a year that I absolutely love. That's just for like me and the people that I care about. And so every year I throw it out there. We go at the end of July because that's when the river is the warmest, is the end of July, beginning of August. So I'm more than happy to have any of you guys that want to come. It's a blast. It's an absolute blast. We float down that river. We bring food. We have floating coolers. And it's just so much fun. I think there's a video from last year where I promised my audience I would go live for at least, 10 minutes or so I could show them like what it looks like on the river, and I did. And so it was just an absolute blast. And so I hope this year my sister can make us different goodies, probably cups again, but like I also put different things in there just to like, I want everybody to be able to commemorate like, this year is the year you went, and like this is the thing that you have from that year and the memories that go with it. Girl, listen, you have to come with us. You and the hubby have to come. Like it's not optional. You have to. We do like the main side of the Saco. You can do the New Hampshire side or the main side. We kind of do the main side, but it is an absolute freaking blast. Oh, being Jerry Springer show is you could say that again. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Okay, so before I do have a clip that I want to show you guys. I do. Let's see. Wells. I've been to Wells. We're closer to Freiburg, is where like sort of like the line between Maine and New Hampshire in that area. That's like a roundabout where we usually are, is between Freiburg and about 25 minutes into Maine from the Saco. If you get in either before Swan Falls or after Swan Falls, you could go up a couple, depending on the like how high the river is. Last year it was really low, like really, really low, and probably the lowest I've seen it. The year we went before that, the river was so high. We did like a 3 or 4 hour float in like 45 minutes because the river was like 6 feet higher than it was the last time. But this last time, what we could do that we couldn't do the last time was get out of at some points we had to get out. The guys pull us because like your butt would hit the bottom because it was so low in certain spots. The year before that, it was going so fast. It was over your head. It was 10 feet or more. So we were cruising. So you usually can't get out. But what we could do was we could get out in certain places last year and just pull the raft up on like one of the sandbars, or just stand right there in the water and talk to people, play ping pong, play beer pong, play whatever, like jump off the little cliffs. Like you couldn't just stop in the middle of the river the year before because it was going so fast. Like the current would just pull you. You're not there, and you can't touch the bottom, so there was nowhere to like just stop unless you found a sandbar, right? But when it gets lower and lower, there are more and more sandbars, and so you saw more and more people sort of just chilling in the water. And a lot of the time, it's like, I don't know if anybody knows, here in Massachusetts, we have something called Aquapalooza. I used to go to Aquapalooza every year in my 20s. And Aquapalooza is this thing with boats, and it's between like Hull and Weymouth. And what happens is it's one big area, and the boats come in and anchor one after another after another. You tie off to the boat next to you. So it's one giant water party. Now I'm talking little dinghies, big giant like yachts, like you're talking all kinds of boats, and just one ties off to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And people will hop from like boat to boat. You'll share food, you'll share drink, you'll share games. People bring the most ridiculous floats. Aquapalooza themselves bring like t-shirt cannons, and like, so it's a party on the water, essentially, something really fun. So it's kind of like Aquapalooza, but with your own floats instead of boats, right? Makes it more accessible to people, at least. And even on the Saco, you'll see people with like 20-person rafts, and the most ridiculous ones you can find, the ones that glow in the dark, the ones that, you know, it's so much fun. I go to Saco every year. One time a year we go. So this is my bracelet from last year. I had my sister make everyone. But every year we go to Saco. And you'll hear a lot of people just screaming, Saco! It's an absolute blast. If you have never done it, and you should be on your bucket list, okay? I can't wait for that new chair. I am totally excited that Birkenstock got me that chair. You have no idea. And I am extremely grateful as well. Aquapalooza is such a blast. Yeah, I was talking about the Saco River. Has anyone seen? No, hey, Allie, I tend not to really know if, and I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but I tend not to listen to a goddamn thing really that Grant has to say, because I was semi-friends with Grant at one point, and then he just kind of went off the deep end. He has no problem feeding just bold-faced lies and grand conspiracies to anyone who will listen, even if he knows they're not true. And I just can't get with that. I can't do it. I cannot do it, you know? It does get me through the winter. It does. Like thinking about it, starting to plan it, trying to figure out who's going to go, who's not going to go. Oh my God. Listen, if you don't come this year, I swear to God, listen, I've been begging you to come for 2 years now. All right. It's time, lady. It's time. Oh, hey, I was just talking about you. I was like, I cannot wait to get that chair. Like, you have no idea how actually grateful I am. Like, you know, it's not all the time that someone gets something from the wish list. So when somebody does it, I'm just grateful. You know, it's exciting. I'm grateful. Listen, yeah, you have to come this year. It's not optional for you, okay? It's just not optional for you. It's totally not optional. Like, it is a blast. It is so much fun. We were like little kids last year. We had a ping pong table. I want to try to get the same house that we had. It had multiple bedrooms, and multiple bedrooms that had like queen beds too. So like for couples. And then there was single beds and bunk beds for other people who were single, right? So you can have both. We did do a little, no. Don't apologize. Girl, listen, don't apologize. She doesn't have to fly. She can drive, and she can stay here. They can stay here. You and the hubby can stay here. Just put a bed right here in the office for you. I mean, it's a pretty big office. I know you guys haven't seen the whole thing yet. And when I unpack these boxes, I'll show you the whole thing, but it's pretty big. And you can put a bed on the other side of this office if you really wanted to. I do have air beds. I mean, I have those, right? Because we were stuck in the house with those. But Saco is so fun. It's just amazing. It's something everyone should try if you haven't done it. And if you have, like, I'm telling you, find a group of people that are going and just make it like an every year thing. Like that's the one time that we, you know, obviously my 2 older kids can deal with themselves. They're, you know, almost adult and adult. So usually my middle will just stay with her grandmother or her friends. Like it's just my little, you know, that I have to deal with. And usually my sister or my neighbor will take my little because she plays with their kids anyway. So it's the one time that I don't have the kids. You know, I have the kids every other day of the year. So it's nice to just be able to not hear mom every 5 seconds, even though I miss them like so much. And I'm like psycho and I check on them like, you know, a couple times a day because, you know, that's me. Listen, you don't have to camp, girl. We do Airbnbs. It's not, I mean, we've done the camping on the river and that part is so much fun too. Like, and a lot of people are like, I don't like camping. And I'm like, this isn't camping. This is like glamping, right? Like I have an entire bathroom and solar shower tent. Like this isn't like camping, like flipping it camping. Like this is like glamping if you do like on the river. But usually in the last couple, we've just done an Airbnb with multiple bedrooms. So Saco River is in New Hampshire and in Maine. So it runs all the way from New Hampshire into Maine. It goes like a long while through. But the most famous spots to go down the Saco River are from like the White Mountains area in New Hampshire all the way through Maine to like, I'd say, you know, past Freiburg. So it's probably, I'd say at least like 10 miles into Maine. Those are the most like popular areas. From that part of New Hampshire, it crosses over, you go like, there's covered bridges, there's rope swings along the way if you do like the New Hampshire one and go into Maine. There's like these cliffs that you can jump in depending on the level of the water, of course. But it is so fun, right? There's not places you bring kids to. Like, don't bring kids to Miami. Like if you go to Florida, don't bring kids to Miami, you know? But it's in New Hampshire and Maine. It's in both. You could choose which like part of it you go, you know? Listen, y'all have to, okay? I hear that all the time with people who are like, I can't do camping. And like, it's not really camping. If you do it on the river, it's mostly well, at least the way I do it, it's mostly glamping. We don't do camping, we do glamping. You know, I can't be hoofing it without electricity. Like I can't do it. I can't not have a bathroom or a shower. Like this is not optional for me. And so over the years, I got one thing at a time. Every year we went until I had a screen tent to keep us away from the mosquitoes, till I had a 2-room bathroom tent, one part's for the solar shower, one part's for the toilet, like literal. So like we don't camp, we glamp, if that makes sense. Also because I have chronic pain, I have to be comfortable. I can't like be on the ground on just with a sleeping bag. Like that's just not, I mean, a lot of kids in their early 20s do that, obviously. And if I was still in my early 20s, then I would probably still be doing that too. But as you get older, you give yourself the better options, you know? Yeah, see, I have to, yeah, me too. I have to have the bathroom and stuff, you know? I do love the light, although for the camera view, I wish it was just like a little, like I need to book, obviously at some point I need to put the curtains up, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the curtains up and then like, you know, tie the 2 sides so that a lot of light comes in, but it's not so much light that it's like giving shadows and stuff, if that makes sense, you know? Girl, listen, I'm telling you, if you tried it with me, you would love it. But we do usually use Airbnbs now because we found some really good like places up there that you can rent that like would accommodate like a good large group of people. And if everybody splits it, it ends up being not a ton of money. You know what I mean? Like if everyone splits it and you buy things like hamburgers, hot dogs, like, you know, grilling items, most of the places that you rent have a grill outside and you can cook inside. But if you buy like the everybody like throws in, it ends up being like $200-300 for like a week each. I mean, it's not bad depending on how many people go, obviously, but it depends. So last year it was way more because it was way less of us. There was only 6 or 8 of us, 6 or 8 of us, six of us, 2, 6, yes, there was only 6 of us. So it was much more, right, to do it. But it's the only one thing we do a year. So it's like one of those things that I really look forward to, you know. Give me some wet wipes. That's my husband. He's like, just give me I don't care. He brings him. Listen, if you leave it up to my husband, he'd pack himself 3 pairs of underwear, a pair of shorts, 2 shirts, and a pair of socks. Okay. Then he gets there and he's like, where's the this and where's the that? And I'm like, oh, I have it. You say I overpacked, but like, what would you do without me, sir? You know? Oh yeah, see, I couldn't do that. Sleeping on the cold ground? Nope, not for me. Not for me. Yeah, camping in a hotel. Oh, hey, there's the room service guy. Hey, room service guy. What you doing, room service guy?
Oh, shit.
What's a shit to talk about? I found the room service guy, guys. I wish I had a travel trailer. We had one a very long time ago, but I wish we still did. Oh, you're really the room service guy. Room service!
Just gonna clean up the trash, yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. Hey, room service guy, can I get that tip? Please.
No, you're supposed to give me it.
No, no. I'm the critical one. Thank you. Thank housekeeping. You have to yell housekeeping next time. Want to fluff the pillow? Yep, it's a hired help. It's the new maid. We're calling the new maid. That's our room service guy from our hotel. I love camping in general. Like I love the outdoors. You know, I'm an outdoorsy person. And I'm gonna be the dirty 40 this year. So, you know, I'm gonna have to really celebrate this year, being the dirty 40 and all. Listen, it's been 12 years and I still blush, okay? We'll be 12 in July. We'll be 12 years in July with him. And still makes me chuckle like a small child. Because we are both ridiculous, okay? We are literally both ridiculous. We're like two small children giggling and laughing. Like it's just it. Hold on, I'm trying to pull something up that I'm for you guys. The actual fuck stick here. Okay. I did. Yes, I did. I popped into chat there for a little bit. I saw it this morning. Girl, listen, if I wasn't a content creator, I probably wouldn't be on X. I'll tell you that much. A lot of just shenanigans, as you guys know, shenanigans on X, okay? A lot of shenanigans, just a lot. Also, I'm sending all of my love and thoughts and prayers to my husband's family. Maybe about 5 minutes. I think it was 5 minutes before I actually went live. We just got the word that his grandmother passed. She had been on hospice, so it wasn't like we didn't know it was going to happen, but so sad nonetheless. His sister texted to say, like, you know, it finally happened, unfortunately. But I'm sending all of my love to them today because that's hard. When I lost my Nana, it was hard. My Nana was like my mom in a lot of ways, and that was a devastating loss for me. Yeah, that to say some shit about cancer is horrible to me, considering Aiden lost his mom to cancer, right? Like, so cancer just is awful. My grandmother is my only living grandparent is in her 80s, late 80s. Her birthday was the other day, and she lives in Florida. And she has beat cancer 3 times, and she's had a mastectomy for breast cancer. This was many, many moons ago. But she's now dealing with another form of cancer. So it's like, who the fuck would ever say team cancer? Oh, Aiden, that's who. A very disturbed individual who lost his own mother to cancer who would say team cancer. I mean, that's sick behavior. I lost my grandfather to pancreatic cancer when he was in his early 60s. And that man was a rock star of this world. He couldn't be a more loving, amazing guy if he tried. you know, my grandmother's sisters, so my great aunts, both died of brain cancer, which is what makes the tumors that my sister has in her brain scary, especially in your 30s, is that it ran in that part of the family. But cancer is not a joke, you know, like that's exactly like how can you justify saying teen cancer against anyone when you lost your own mom to cancer? See, like, good for you for being a survivor. Do you know how hard that is? You know, look, the amount of pride somebody gets when they get to ring that bell when their treatments are done. Like, you know, Kevin Linehan has had cancer for a long time, and with the technology nowadays, he's lived a long, long time and in remission a few times. Yeah, bone cancer, yeah, it's bad pain, you know? It can be cured in some cases, and in most, though, it's a lot of treatments and hopefully remission. But I mean, who the hell says teen cancer? I mean, who does that? And all just to like get back at Lisa because she simply doesn't agree with him. I mean, that's who he is, right? If you just don't agree with him, you know, that's what it is, you know. Oh yeah, he runs to he is an ass. I love that there's so many survivors here. I love this. Cancer is not a joke, and it does a lot of damage to families and people, and it's an awful, awful thing. So to try to do that as some sort of like gotcha is fucking insane to me. It's absolutely bonkers. It's bonkers. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Aiden did. He did hashtag Team Cancer on one of Lisa's posts because, you know, he simply, Lisa doesn't like him anymore, doesn't follow him. I also want to say a huge shout out today. And I don't know if anybody, you know, lives in the South Coast area, but Bill from Delicious passed away. We heard this morning. And Delicious is this little pizza place in Berkeley, right next to Taunton. And it's one of those like places that you go and you feel like you're part of the family, you know. He was one of those people who literally made up like a new pizza. I think it's one new pizza a month or something like that. So like for years he would like tinker, and he told me how he did it. Like he was like, I would just try different things and taste test it. And so if you went in there and he had just made like a new pizza that no one's tried, we'd like try it like for free on the house, right? See how you like it. And he came up with some of the most amazing pizzas like that you would not find anywhere else. And he just was one of those people that was like so bubbly and happy and kind, and it just made you feel warm and fuzzy inside. And that's a big loss to the community of Berkeley, which is a very small community. And I think the surrounding communities that loved Delicious, they're closed right now because of his passing, but put a lot of pride into that business and a lot of pride into his customers. You know, they sold the best fried dough around for sure. And it's just sad, you know. So I heard that this morning, and it was awful. That was awful. I was sad to hear that. Who's deleting? Nobody's deleting your chats. YouTube might be. Let me see. It's not me. That means it's probably YouTube. Also, why am I not seeing all of the chats? What's happening here? I'm not deleting anything. So if it's popping away, that means that YouTube might have triggered it. Like it might have triggered something on YouTube that is like like they have certain words or phrases that like they'll automatically remove. Like I won't even see. Like so if one of my mods removed something, I'll see it on this side here, and nothing was removed on our side. So that means that it's Google. And they do it to me. They even do it to me. Like I'll put something in the chat and it'll boop, gone. Also, you got to go to the top of your chat, and if it says top chat, do all, like don't like change it from top chat to all. Otherwise, you won't see all of them. New Hampshire said she sees them. Which one don't you see? I can see saying hi to Darkside. I can see Next one before that. You saying you were a survivor is the next one I see after that. I mean, before that. Yeah, YouTube says what they want when they want. I have no control over that, unfortunately. But nothing's being deleted on our end. We don't usually delete. I don't usually delete comments unless they're like someone's being like a troll, you know, like rude or ignorant or something like that. I don't delete comments for no reason. And it doesn't look like any of my mods did either. So it looks like it's probably a triggering word or YouTube, or, you know, sometimes you can get what's called shadow banned, like YouTube shadow banning your comments. YouTube is grimy like that. Like, I don't even see, and if you guys don't tell me, I don't know, because it doesn't tell me. It doesn't say, like, when YouTube is censoring people's comments or taking them out, it doesn't tell me that YouTube's doing it. So I just don't know. I don't know unless someone tells me. I mean, I have no control over YouTube, unfortunately. It could be a glitch. I don't always get, like, once in a while we'll get an alert that there's like a global glitch, but when there's like local glitches or like smaller glitches, they won't tell us until it's a bunch of people complain to me that it's happening, and then I'll know. But until then, I don't. I see that. I see you now. But I promise you, it's not us. I promise you, it is not us. It's got to be YouTube. You could be like using a triggering word or something like that, triggering phrase, or they use bots now, which is really just annoying as hell that YouTube and Google use bots, because the bots can't read context, right? The bots can't tell whether someone's kidding or not. Like, I didn't. You want to know why? Because these children kept me up all night to drive me insane. I did it. I didn't. I admittedly have not finished yet because, well, children. I'm actually shocked they're not like giggling up a storm right now. They're in my daughter's room hanging out. Whoa, one of my lights just went out. What happened here? Excuse you, light. Excuse you, ma'am. Light. What's happening? How dare you go out on me like that? Funny enough, my best friend who passed away, I'm convinced that she likes to play with lights, and so I'm going to take that as a sign of her just saying hello. Of her saying hello. Sorry, I'm like missing comments here. Hold on. I can see all of your comments. See? As soon as I write, they are gone. That's weird. I'd go out and come back in because I can see them and everyone else can see them. See? We're here. So I don't think it might be like on your end. Could just be, you know, your computer or a glitch or YouTube or something. Hey, Benny! TV has something on everyone, or at least people think that they do. So then what happens is he, you know, makes threats, or to be fair, he sends people to make threats. Also, I'm just going to throw this out there for anybody who, excuse you. Do you guys see that? The light went out again. Like, what is actually, here it goes. What is actually happening? What? Okay, now I'm a little weirded out, not gonna lie. Multiple lights going out here for no reason. None say here. What? Why? For the love of God, why? I might need a new power strip. That might be a problem. This power strip is kind of old, so I'm not gonna lie. I might need a new power strip. Tuberculosis? Yeah, he probably freaking did. Hello, Staffy. But that's what he does. He uses, you know, harassment campaigns, and he uses other people too. Yeah, there's a couple words that trigger that kind of stuff, and phrases, which I have no control over. I also have some phrases that are blocked by the channel itself, phrases that are demeaning to people. So if you use certain words, my channel will automatically take something out. But usually if that happens, it'll tell me on this end over here. And I don't see that. Hey, Nina. I don't see that at all. We do have an extra hour of daylight, which I will take. I will take it. But let me just throw this out there for anybody who needs to hear it. If you come for Leah, you might as well come for me. Okay? Let's just throw that out there. Leah is one of my closest and dearest friends. And where I wasn't on that that space, and I still haven't finished listening to it, I will say this. I don't give a fuck what was said or what wasn't said. You come for her, you come for me. You have to come through me. That's the bottom line, okay? She is one of my closest, dearest friends, and she's got a heart of gold. So when people say things that they have no idea what the hell they're talking about, she's right here. It drives me bonkers. Like, here's an idea. Maybe, and here's the funny part, is Leah's such an open book. Like, if you just ask her a question privately, she'd be happy to answer you or have a conversation with you. So it's like there's no need to come in her sideways. She'll literally just have a normal human conversation with you and actually like educate you on what you don't know. So, you know, I mean, it's a damn good question, Beach. And I do think he is going to jail. Yes, this is Leah. And I just wanted to make a public service announcement. That's my public service announcement. That's my fucking TED Talk for the day. You come for my fucking friend and you come through me. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And I would do that for any of the people that I care about. Like Benny. You come for him, you have to go through my husband and me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody that I care about. Like you come for Amy and you're coming for me. Like you come for Deidre, you're coming for me. Like you come for the people that I care about. And you come for me because these are people who would give the shirt off of their back to help another human being. If you knew them the way I did, you would know that. Too many people are far too easily manipulated by Aiden and then his minions and then other people who then repeat it, of the lies and the twisting of actual real information, and then they just buy it hook, line, and sinker, and then they repeat it in its distorted form, and they go, well, don't you remember this, and why did you do that? And it's like, here's an idea. How'd you talk to me like a grown adult and maybe message me? I would happily do explain what you're talking about, but explain the parts that like are true, because half of what you're talking about never happened and doesn't exist, right? Because Aiden's got to come up with some sort of narrative for it, right? So where I still don't know the full context of what the fuck went down, I'll tell you this much. I don't give a fuck what the context was. She's my friend and I will fight you. Like, that's that. It's that simple. Like, I don't care. I will. I intend on making sure he's banned from every fucking social media platform from here to Kalamazoo. I don't give a fuck if it takes me 20 years to do it. Because for every day that he continues on a platform, he harms more people. More and more and more and more people. It is nice today. It's nice to see you, Salty. You know, I do think he is going to see you. And that's just because of what I know specifically. There's a lot of just things happening behind closed doors that people just don't know about, which is fine because it's not things that can be shared at the moment. But I think he's going to see you. And there's no way around it for him. And he keeps going. That's his problem, is he keeps going. And if I was someone like Meredith, I would be not only suing him, right? But like I would probably get an order on him at this point. I really would. They do turn slow. Sassy's right. The wheel of justice, it turns extremely slow, you know? He's an absolute danger to society. I believe he is a full danger to society. Full danger to society. I think, here's the thing. I think once he's gone, you might have some of his minions that try to pick up that piece, like Machado, but ultimately it'll just fail. Ultimately, it will fail. People will get bored of it, and they're going to say, I know he's nonstop. It's bad. I know. Girl, listen, I get it. Believe me, I've lived it. I've lived it with the other victims. I've, supported anyone he's done this to, and I continue to support anyone he does it to because it's shit behavior, right? But it's who he is. Let's remember that. Also, don't be alarmed. I just remembered that I had to tell you guys this, but we changed the Amazon wish list. A very wise woman told me that I should just leave 5 things at a time on there, the most important 5 things, and then once something comes off, then you put something on. And so just the most important 5 things we need for the house right now are on that list. And then, so it didn't just get wiped out. Nobody bought everything on the list. We moved everything from the new list to back to the old list and just put the most important 5 things on that list right now. Yeah, I mean, he is stupid though, Nina, remember. But I'm really bad at remembering to tell you guys like how to support the channel in the first 20 minutes of the show, which is really when you're supposed to do it. But I'll just do it now because, well, here I am. So if you do want to support the channel, I am more than appreciative of all of you. And I can always use the love and support. There's a bunch of different ways. Being here is one of them, and it's free. Hitting that like button, it's definitely a good way to support the channel and show the algorithm that people are watching, people are engaged. Commenting in the chat is a great way to do that as well. You can do super chats, super stickers. You can gift memberships. You can buy yourself a membership, or you can do the most direct routes, which are Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the Amazon wish list, which is in the description of the video, or we have a link over there in chat at the top that you can use any credit or debit card with. It works for anyone, so you don't have to have any of the payment apps like Cash App or Venmo or PayPal if you don't already have them. There's other options in the description of the video, as there always are, like Chime and Revolut. And the Amazon wishlist link is in the description of the video as well. He is a toxic personality, extremely toxic. Yeah, so I pointed out, like all the things that he argued against was he was arguing against himself. Hey, YBE, how are you? You know? Yeah, he's the infirmary. The infirmary. Yeah, the American justice system, as we both know, as you and I both know, needs a lot of fucking work. You know, we need to fill in the gaps and fix the loopholes. And I mean, what's the point of an order, right? What's the point of a fucking order? Like, for instance, what's the point? So, do you guys remember Lindsay's extraction? What was the point of putting in an order to protect that information if you could just hand it to someone else and they could release it? They need to fix that, right? That can't be a loophole. It can't be, well, like, oh, you're under, you know, you can't release it, but if you give it to someone on the internet and we can't prove that it was you, even though the only person who had it was you and your attorneys, you know, common sense, then you just get away with it, even though it's under a protective order. I mean, that's just simply not okay. You know, it's just not. I will, yes. So yes, I mean, he is. I'm going to show you guys a clip of the coercive control that he displayed last night on his show. Now, you guys know I don't watch his show because, I mean, it's literally, oh God, it makes my skin want to crawl, literally, okay, because of the shit. He is a menace to society. That's such a good point, Allie. A complete menace to society. No ifs, ands, or fucking buts about it. All right, hold on. Let's see. I have... I want to show you guys the level of delusion that we're dealing with, okay? And I don't always love playing his shit just because, like, he's cringe, man. He's next level fucking cringe. But I do have to point out sometimes when we're dealing with abusive type behavior. And when we're dealing with something like coercive control, that is abusive type behavior, you know? I think she did say she got an attorney. I'm not sure if that's civil or criminal. I have no idea. I would hope both, you know, unfortunately. I would hope both. Let's see. Gotta find the clip. I saw it this morning. Oh, bless your soul, Allie. I can't do it. I can't. Like, I have to rely on some of you to like send me the important things, fill me in, you know, things like that. I can't do it. All right, here we go. Your Honor, help has it. If she did, it would be because of him, right? It would be because of him and his ridiculous, nonsensical calling her job, making fake accounts to do it, to tag her job. Like, really, though, her job had an obligation in the state of Massachusetts to actually give her support, you know? Oh, Rando said that last night on JFK, one person couldn't see their posts, but they could. And on Can We Keep It Real, Miss GNX said that was happening to her too. So yeah, sounds like it must be a YouTube glitch then. Hey girl, nice to see you all. Yeah, what the hell? I would be at the police station if I was her. I would have been state's witness if I was her already. You know, like that's what I would have done. Simply because there is no benefit to not at this point. Like, he's going to keep going until the end of time, whether you come forward with the information you have on the crimes that he's committed and the ongoing harassment of that. And let's be real, because she probably saw or has evidence of multiple crimes of his, that makes her a witness. And so technically what he's doing is more witness intimidation. Shocker, right? I mean, it's what he loves to do, but he loves also going into the court and lying to Judge Noonan. Although I think Judge Noonan needs to take a judging class, to be honest. Like, do they make those anymore? Like, make sure that these judges stay informed about what their legal obligation is, because Judge Noonan doesn't seem to understand how restraining orders or HPOs work, considering that you need, true threats or fighting words for those. And none of those things were there. He still decided to continue a order that did not need to be fucking continued. All right, let's I mean, can she? I mean, she specifically doesn't have that power. The state does, but she probably has information that would lead to him being charged with other things. I'll say that much. I mean, from at least what I've seen that has been put out receipt-wise, that there a couple of those things that he's done are crimes. So, I mean, if you bring all of that to the police, then I'm assuming at that point they absolutely could charge you with that kind of shit. Could get his bail revoked if he's charged with something else. Put his ass directly in jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Now, this is a minute and 52 seconds, and I'm going to tell you, I couldn't even get past 5 minutes the other day without pausing it 72 times because the amount of lies that this man tells. But I will attempt to not pause it too many times, make commentary, and just try to get through the cringe-like coercive control behavior that this man does. But I will point out that this is exactly in this clip what he's doing. It's called coercive control. In the state of Massachusetts, it is under the definition of abuse. It's a reason that you can get a restraining order or an HBO is because somebody is using coercive control. And Aiden loves using coercive control. That's what abusers do. So, deduction here tells me Aiden has been abusing people for a really long time, trying to use coercive control tactics to get them to do what he wants them to do or else, right? It's what he does. It's what he fucking does. It is terrorizing. I call him a mini little terrorist, a turtleistic terrorist. Like that's what he is. That's why he's the sewer turtle, because he lurks in the shit. He's full of shit, and he hides in the dark with the shit. That's who he is. I know that she said that that's not her wish, right? But that, in my eyes, is also a way that he manipulated her by constantly saying, like, anybody who goes against me or goes to the cops just wants me in jail and just wants to get back at me. They're all liars. They're all crazy. And they all just hate Turtle Boy. So they're all just trying to make shit up. And so that in turn makes people not go to the police, because then they don't want to be pegged as like, oh, well, they were only just trying to make him go to jail, right? It's another coercive control tactic of him saying, like, they just trying to put me in jail and take me from my children. So that it makes people not do it, right? The problem with that is that's what he intended. So that when you do it, he can say it. But no matter what, he's going to say it when he gets held accountable for his actions. He's still going to claim that you did it. He's still going to blame you for everything. So why not just Give them everything you have at this point. Let them charge his ass, get a fucking order, and let him deal with the consequences of his own actions that keep mounting and piling up, you know? It's coercive control. It's the way that he does shit on purpose on his shows publicly to rile and incite his audience to do his dirty work for him in ways. And when they don't do what he wants them to do exactly, because he can't say, I want you to do X, Y, and Z. He wants you to harass. He wants you to intimidate. He wants you to call people's jobs. He wants you to do that stuff. But if you don't do the exact thing or as many times as he wants, he'll just make a fake account and do it himself. That's what he does, you know? Girl, I will thank you a million times for that, YBE, because I cannot do it. So there are people like you that do post the clips, like I thank you all a million times over, because I don't have the incapacity to support all the people that he fucking hurts and watch his nonsensical bullshit. I can't do it. I just download the videos and save them for evidence. Like I cannot watch all of it. I can't do it. I look at the clips or anything someone sends me. If they say, go to like this timestamp and look at this specific thing, then I'll do that. But other than that, I can't do it. The amount of lies that comes out of his mouth in just 1 minute's time is enough to make you want to smash a computer screen. I'm not kidding you. Literally. I'm not a violent person, but it makes you want to smash a computer screen because the amount of lies and the amount of people believing it. And then to boot, you don't just have people that believe it, right? You have people that are literally throwing money at him. Here, Turtle Boy, take all of my money for your legal defense fund and all the house that you bought on the backs of all of us when you could have paid for your own legal defense, but instead you bought a house because we all donated over 300 grand and then some to your quote legal defense fund of legal problems that he keeps mounting because of his own goddamn behavior, right? These people continue to just throw money at him on his show, and it boggles my fucking mind. It's like, why support someone like him? Support someone like who isn't doing that shit. Support, DV victims or a local thing if you want to spend that kind of money, or you know what I mean? Like, or support someone actually doing something good, or support someone who's, not doing coercive control and abusive behavior. I mean, the amount of people that still support him are just allowing him to continue that behavior, right? It's telling him he's awesome and he's great and you have his back. That just emboldens him to continue the bad behavior. That's all it does, right? And it's disheartening to see that people do it. It's really disheartening. I would love it if he went to jail. Make no mistake of it. I love when people are like, you just want to put him in jail. Well, I don't have the capacity to put him in jail. I don't have that kind of power. I don't have that kind of power, unfortunately. If I did, he'd be there. All right. But I can absolutely want someone who I believe to be a horrible abuser, a narcissistic, malignant narcissist who uses abuse tactics like coercive control, okay, to be in prison where he belongs. He belongs in prison. There is no place that is going to make him better. No amount of therapy, no amount of medication can help a malignant narcissist or an abuser. None. Zero. Nothing on this earth, including prison, is going to change who he is. But at least in prison, he can't hurt people from there. He can try to have people run his channel and attempt to do things, but it just doesn't have the same punch. So if he's there, then he can't hurt anyone else. I want device locks on his shit so he can't ban evade. And when he does ban evade and make other people make things for him, his device won't let him log in from his devices. They use the IMEI numbers on the phones and the router numbers and put device locks on so that he cannot get onto certain social media platforms that he has been banned from, which ultimately I believe YouTube will take that step. I'll repeat the information that we have entered into evidence with the Alphabet lawyers, which is over 45,381 reports to his channel, most of which a bot decided there was nothing to see here, when in reality, he has over a dozen violations each video as a standard across the board. Some of them are way more, right? Some of them, I think a couple of them back, we checked, it was 18 violations on just that video alone of terms of service. Doxing, incitement, harassment, those are automatic, get your channel shut down for people who have less than 10,000 followers. They'd shut your channel down so quick for something like that. So quick. So it's just proving that they're putting profits over people. And that's not a good look for Alphabet. It's just not. you know? I do. I want him to go to jail as well because that's where he belongs. He's committed crimes. It's where he belongs, you know? I agree with you. Quit ruining the planet. What does it say about society as a whole? You know? I do think it's a dangerous zone to be in. It is. And that's the problem, is if you lose, he then uses that. He also just gets the public, like, you know, things and uses it to harass you. And that's part of why I say, like, these loopholes need to be closed, right? These legal loopholes need to be closed. But that's also something I've been working on quietly for 2 years, is getting our senators and our Massachusetts representatives to try to make a bill that will become law that will close some of these loopholes and stop some of this kind of behavior. Cyber stalking is a federal law. That's a federal crime. Cyber stalking someone is a federal crime. Put that in your juice box and suck it. Now, what needs to happen is the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, needs to actually do their job, because the reports have been made. What are they going to do about it is the question. You know, I am absolutely sure that he is going to see some jail time. He can't get out of his own way, ultimately. You know, of course he was. 20 seconds. He's screaming, he's yelling, he's saying you need to make more than a $5 donation or it's not worth it, blah, 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 blah. How dare you give him $3 and not $5? And it's like, if you can't even be grateful for what people give you on your channel, you don't deserve to have one, in my opinion, right? Be grateful for what any amount that someone gives you. He seems to forget how hard it is to like start and maintain a channel at this point. And I think it's just because he just says whatever now. So now it's not hard for him. Now he just like says whatever fucking word vomit is coming out of his mouth, whether it's true or not, he doesn't care. He just hopes that it incites enough people to like, you know, for them to hit the send button. I think he is a misogynist. He's been that way pretty much forever. Oh, I guarantee he has shit. I mean, he's screenshotted a ton of, you know, shit with Betero on his own phone. He can't help but to screenshot shit that he knows he's not supposed to and then send it out to a bunch of people, you know? I agree, Cla. But just because you haven't seen anything happen publicly yet, know that things are being worked on, you know? Things are being worked on. The man has made over $5 million since 2020 from the platforms, okay? 5 million since 2020. I think he does know he's going to jail, you know? The state laws are too weak, at least here, for cyberbullying, but the federal one isn't, you know? I addressed that yesterday, but it wasn't that he lied, he misquoted her. And she said on the record that Karen Reed blames TV for going to Lindsay's house that night. Well, to be fair, there's a text message where she like basically says like I told she didn't want to talk to him anymore because she told him not to go there and he did anyway. You know, of course he did. You know what really gets me is some of these people that go back. Why I can't see Queen of the Pool's comments right now. See, there must be a glitch because I cannot see a single one of her comments at all. They're just not popping up at all. So I'm not skipping you, Queen of the Pool. Like that's the third time I've seen somebody tag you. I literally cannot see a single comment that you have written. I apologize because I usually pull up everybody's. Hi, Sharon. I don't see a single one. Happy Sunday. 5 million. No. He's pocketed. So I think it was YouTube pocketed a little over 1 million of that. So, but he has pocketed a couple mil, you know. See, that's the problem is the judges can only take into consideration what they have in front of them and if it pertains to the legal stuff that's in front of them. That's part of the, you know. I don't either. I don't either. What's the 41111? You know, for me, it's like, how do you sleep at night? I could never, you know, I could never. I literally could never. Especially when they promise to do that shit. Where is the consequence, you know? Thank you, Marcia. I appreciate that. I will say I'm not loving that I don't have carpets because, like, you guys can hear the chair rolling back and forth and, like, it rolls a little, although I'm getting a new one, so hopefully the new one doesn't do that. But I don't love not having carpets because you have to, like, sweep, like, 5 times a day each floor, which drives me nuts because the rooms are all much bigger. But I do love having more space, I'll tell you that much. It's a little echo. Just a little, that little echoey dress a little less too, but you see them on your end, Justice. Why can't I see them? See, what the hell is happening? I know that he lost a ton of support, and I know that he like buys views back bots because we watched it go down by like 2,000 people, and then as soon as he realized it, magically all of a sudden it popped back up. I mean, it's just that doesn't happen, you know. There are a few weirdo exceptions. You're right, Kathy. A few weirdo exceptions, you know. Where did you put my juice? Put that in your juice box and suck it. That's my favorite line. Put that in your fucking juice box and suck it. To be fair, I love juice boxes. I'm like a little kid. Okay. Give me some Kool-Aid jammers. I'm good with them. Put those all in the crisper at the bottom. I love me some high C juice boxes as well. Oh, thank you, Marcia. I appreciate that very much. If you guys want to help out the channel, there's a bunch of different ways to do so. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We do have an Amazon wish list. There's only 5 things on it right now, so don't be alarmed. It's the most important 5 things that a very smart woman told me. Should keep it to the most important 5 things I need right now, and then you replenish if those things go. And then there's a link at the top of chat that you can click on, and you can donate that way. Works for any credit debit card. It is secure. So, all right, yeah, 5 million, Nina. That's great. I think he has Sexaholics Anonymous is what he needs. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. I'm so serious. I really think that. Yeah, lots of legal bills that were paid for by all of the people who follow him. He didn't pay a single penny for those goddamn legal bills, you know? Not a single fucking penny. What he did was instead let everyone else pay for it and then take part of the millions of dollars he made and bought a house, right? Like that's what he did. Then he wants to do some 12-hour, $50,000 fundraiser. Like that's what he wants to do. He wants to do a 12-hour, $50K fundraiser for himself. Should I do a 12-hour crying session? Like Jess Machado, just cry and then like the super chats come? Like I was joking with Amy yesterday on Spaces about that. Like, should I just start crying like Jess Machado? Would that get the job done? Like, what the fuck? Like, or do a 12-hour, $50,000 fundraiser like Aiden, so he can furnish his whole house and laugh in people's faces like a fucking asshole. Like, I joked the other day that like we'll do a virtual housewarming party. It's the fuck we do. Although anything I do get from you guys will get unboxed. Like when Mrs. Koala gives me the Australian goodie snacks, I will unbox with you guys. I feel like that deserves an unboxing, you know? See, that's weird. I don't know. There's got to be some. See, I can't see her comment. And obviously, this has got to be a good comment because I've made this point before. Like, I feel bad. These kids are going to have to see this shit, you know? And I hope other kids don't say shit to them. They don't need to hear about their dad just being a fucking delinquent, you know? That's horrible. It's awful. And I'm guessing that Queen of the Pool is making a good friggin' comment here that I can't see. What the YouTube? What in the actual stick? Get your shit together, YouTube. All right? You're fucking shit up. Yeah, it's not even popping up like on my back end YouTube. Like, what is happening? That's obnoxious. Thank you again, Marcia. Why does vicious bigotry still exist in American? I don't know. That's good. That's a good damn question. You know? They learn it. It's learned behavior, right? Like, I teach my children to not let a kid sit alone at school. That they're probably sitting alone because either they're bullied or they're really shy, or maybe the kid, like my nephew, is autistic and doesn't have a ton of social skills. Like, don't let that kid sit alone. That kid might be your best friend for the rest of your life for all you know. Like, go make friends. Be kind, right? Like, I teach my kids these things because that is how I want my children to be as adults. I don't want them to be angry bullies or mean people, right? I want them to treat everyone with respect and kindness. That's what we should want for all of our kids. Unfortunately, a lot of these bad behaviors get passed down to kids because they watch their parents do this crap. And their parents don't correct them when the children then start doing it, you know? He does. Who wakes up and says, who can I piss off today? He does. He does. I mean, look at how many times he's gone after, like, Nan, for instance. For what? She supported him, helped him out, big time. Like, what the fuck? Christine is not a troll. Christine has been with us a long time. Yeah, I mean, he wants her so badly to just like send, you know, a crowd of people to his cases. Like he wants her to get up and be like, I am Karen Reed and you should support Turtle Boy. That's never going to happen, nor should anybody support him. He created all of his own problems himself, you know? I hope the mom finds happiness and peace and with someone that she deserves, you know, because his ex-wife Julie deserves that, you know, deserves happiness. Imagine how many horrible years she had to deal with him, you know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy, you know. Hey, standing. Oh, thank you, Marcia. Thank you so much. Those most direct routes are so helpful to us. I appreciate you. Yeah, I can't see them. I'm so mad. I saw her comments when we were here the other day, so I don't know what the hell happened. Obviously, she wouldn't be able to comment here if it was like blocked or something. So like, I don't understand. I'm sorry, Queen of the Pool. I apologize. I can't see any of your comments. I don't know what is going on with YouTube, dude. I'm so sorry. My mod said she'll check, but I don't think there's anything she can do. I honestly think it's a YouTube like glitch or something. It's you know. I don't think there's anything she can do either. I think it's honestly just some weird freaking glitch. Because like, I should be able to see everyone's comments. Nina said she didn't say. I didn't see anything either. I don't know, Nina. This whole thing is like it's confusing. Beach said YouTube's just glitchy today. She had to shut it down and restart. Yeah, see, that's not just me. Not just me. Well, thank you, Marcia. She sends $10 and says, love your work. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. I don't think you guys understand how grateful I am. I missed you guys literally so much. Like 2 weeks without you guys, somebody had commented and was like, where are you? I am having withdrawals. And I was like, in my mind, my automatic brain went to like, I'm also having those from you guys. Don't worry. I feel the same way, you know? I feel like it's America probably has a bigger problem of it, but I'm sure it's, you know, everywhere. That's a good question, Kathy. I don't know. Apparently she's had a second meltdown in the last 2 days, you know? I don't know. Crying meltdowns over a video she was sent. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, she's a mean girl, you know? She said she's a late convert from the cult. Maybe that's why she's invisible. No, because if I had blocked her, then she wouldn't be able to comment at all. Like not only would you not see it, you wouldn't see it. She wouldn't be able to, is my point. Like she wouldn't be able to comment at all. Maybe it might be if she blocked me. So if she blocked me in like another chat, say I was in like Mike's chat or something, and she blocked me there, that might be why I can't see her comments in mine. We'll figure it out. It might be like, I saw them the other day though, so I don't know what the hell. I honestly think it's just a YouTube glitch because she was here the other day and I could see her comments and I commented back. Maybe somebody can like copy and paste when she comments so that I can like give her also the attention she deserves, just like the rest of you. Because like I feel bad. That's not. I don't know what the hell. What the hell? Like what the hell? What the goddamn hell? Like I just don't. You know, you guys know how I am. I don't just read super chats, right? I like to pull up everyone's comments because so many of you have so many amazing points, right? And I know like not all creators give that kind of attention to their audience, but I feel like it's important because a lot of you guys have really great points that like I think a lot of creators miss out when they kind of skip over the comments unless it's super chat because you're missing out on so much of your audience and connecting with your audience. I think it's a mistake for people to do that. I get why they do it. They do it because it brings in more money. I understand it, but I think it's a mistake because you're missing so much like good information, a great way to connect with your audience, people making amazing points that you can talk about. Like you miss so much as a creator when you do that. And I feel like I wish people would just like pay a little more attention to like the things that their audience says because I feel like they would get a lot out of it, you know? Girl, I had so many people that kept saying that. They were like, we kept looking for your lives. I'm like, I know, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Believe me, there was nobody who wanted to be here more than I did, you guys. I promise. But without the internet, that was kind of not a possibility. I know. I thought about starting a spaces in a little bit here, and then so that we can have some back and forth conversation with those of you that are on X and allow some of you to speak. Because I love hearing from you guys. Oh, thank you, Allie. Happy Sunday daylight savings. I think the daylight savings fucked me up this morning. I got up and it said 11, and I was like, I never sleep till 10, but no, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, Amy, because my daughter had to sleep over last night, and I had to like keep, being like, I live on the third floor, neighbors downstairs, so I'm like, you guys are yelling, and we have neighbors, and it's 2 a.m, go to sleep, go to sleep. So I did not get a ton of sleep. So the daylight savings like effed me up even more. I got up, and it was like, I woke up at 7, and then I went back to sleep. And then it was like 11. And I was like, what the freaking freak? Like, what, 11? And then I was reminded by my beautiful mod who was like, don't forget about daylight savings. So as soon as I looked at my text message, I was like, she's right, daylight savings, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. I have no idea what's up with people saying that. I think that's probably just something Aiden or one of his crew members came up with. Sean has never posted anything that was wiretapped, that wasn't already public. You know what I mean? Like anything that was Aiden wiretapped and sent to other people, that was people shared it, it was already public. So I don't know where that came from. Yeah, she's not a good person. Well, that's the thing. He decided he was just going to turn around and like support Aiden, and that's the grip, right? Support Aiden, and then all the money will come flowing into your channel if you support the turtle. And if you like figure that part of the quote grift out, and you see people who are supporting him, like Jess and all those other people, that's why they do it, because the most money comes from his supporters, and if he supports that person, they will support that person. And so people like Grant and Jess figured out like, well, if they just support those people, they'll make more money, which is just like, no, have a conscience, have a little bit of self-respect for yourself, enough to not back people who are harming other people's real lives. Did they get a vehicle order wrong? I am shocked that his numbers have gone anywhere, to be honest with you. I don't know who would actually listen to him and believe a single word that came out of his mouth. I'm shocked. The horror! I don't know why anybody would watch Jess. Maybe to watch her cry, to watch the crash out. Part of the reason why half the people who watch Aiden watch, to watch a fucking crash out, to watch a crash out. Literally. My justice. Oops. I have this on my desk, and I just looked at it, and I'm like, oh, it's my Justice Ave sign that I had made forever ago for the show. Aww. But the answer to that is not very much. All right, let's play this. I'm going to start charging for my comments. Yeah, 80% of his video is just reading super chats. You get that right. Oh, Alabama. I'm sure she did. Down south was pretty bad back then. I mean, it still can be sometimes. Peter Tregus only reads super chats, but he had a lot of viewers. I mean, I know when you have a lot, it can get to be a lot, right? They come by really fast, but you can slow them down. You can stop them. You can pick out certain ones. I love Sean as well. Yeah, I saw that someone posted she made 6K in February. Gross. Stop it. Bless your friggin' soul, Amy. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. You try to make me cry on air. Stop that. I think you're probably the only one who knows how badly I need that bed too. My body will thank you a million times over. I appreciate you. Amy bought the bed on my wish list for me. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. I'm buffering. Am I buffering? She sold her soul probably for more than that, but you are amazing, my friend. You are amazing. I honestly, my whole body will thank you a billion times over. And then some. Amy knows how bad my bed is old, and like there's springs popping through my topper and everything. And so you know, there was like 5 things that I needed the most for the apartment: the bed, the couch that was fairly cheap for a small couch that'll fit onto a 3rd-floor apartment. It's, I think, $399 for like an L-shaped couch. It's like it's a boneless couch, which it expands in 72 hours. Like you open it all up, it comes in boxes, so you can fit it up the staircase in the small, you know, because we have narrow hallways, and then it expands within 72 hours. So it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Hold on, guys. Sorry, the room service guy had something to say. I don't know why anybody would watch her, to be honest. I don't. Which one? I believe he's been doing that for a long time, you know, and to be fair, I've been saying his group is like a hate group. It's a cult for a long, long time. It's exactly why Will kisses his ass. Followers, money, you know, all that. I have no idea. I have no idea where she's been. It was beyond sweet of you, Amy. Now there's 4 things that I need that are on. So 1 down, 4 to go. 4 to go. Couch being obviously the most important, but I also got to get I have to get some storage in my. There's no bathroom closets. We don't have a bathroom closet or even a living room closet, so I need one of those. I don't know what they're actually called. I just call them the over the toilet storage, because you know it's like the thing that goes up over the toilet, and then they have shelves and you can put your towels on it. So I need something like that to put the towels on for when people are taking a shower in the weird shower with the weird window. Oh no, the puppy got loose. I'm so sorry. Oh God, that sounds painful. Ooh. I hope you're okay. If it's your leg, make sure your knee, it's your knee. Make sure that you keep it up. It should be above the heart to stop swelling. It is what you should have it up. All right, let's play some of this. I know it's going to be hard to watch, but this is the level of coercive control we're dealing with. And I just want people to like be aware of, if you see this behavior in anyone in your real life, this blame everyone else, blame the victim, blame the victim, blame the victim, do what I say and none of this would have happened sort of deal, do what I wanted you to do and none of this would have happened sort of deal. That's coercive control. That basically means you should have done what I demanded that you do or else, right? This is going to be a hard 1 minute and 52 seconds. I'll try not to pause it because it's just, I'll comment after. I'll make commentary after, because if I pause it while I'm doing it, it'll take a half an hour to get through a minute and 52 seconds of his nonsense. All right, ready? Here we go.
Leverage anymore. You're fucked.
Why can't I hear it? What's happening? Let's see. Hold on. Oh God. Hold on. Might be on my end here, but I'm going to have to fix this sound thing. Blue sound. There we go. Output, input. Oh, let me see if I can hear it now.
No leverage.
I can. Okay. All right, I fixed it. All right, let me know in the comments if you guys can hear it too, because I might have to change the settings, because yesterday I plugged in the sound bar that goes to the computer and it kind of messed with some of the settings. So let me know if you guys can hear it. I need to make sure that you guys can hear it too.
No leverage anymore. You're fucked. You have nothing. Your hostage video last night, we see it. You're done. You're fucking done. Just, if I could give her one advice as a piece of advice, as somebody who used to care about her and actually gave a shit about her, I would urge her to fucking stop. That's it.
I'm sorry, I have to pause it. Why can't he stop? Why can't he log off and just stop harassing people, stop smearing people, stop talking about people? If he stopped doing that and his audience that he incites to do it, stop doing that, there wouldn't be a problem. He can't stop. That's how he makes money, is by just, yeah, he calls it some hostage video. There's no hostage video. That's just what he like, again, it's another way to incite people, Breeze, right? Like, it's a way for him to get people riled up by using certain keywords. It's part of why cults use certain keywords and they say them over and over and over. It's so that ultimately the cult starts believing the word and they repeat it, which is exactly what happens with him. He repeats it enough and then they repeat it and believe it automatically, even when there's evidence to suggest it's not true at all.
Stop. Delete your account.
Says the man with 72 sock accounts. Amazing to me. Delete your account because I'm so afraid I'm going to go to jail because I committed so many crimes and you have the receipts. That's essentially what he's saying without saying it, because ultimately he's telling a person to delete their account while he signs into multiple other accounts and makes fake accounts to harass people with. Amazing to me. Amazing that the lack of self-awareness. Now, let me remind you, every rant that this man does is essentially a confession. I have said this a billion times over the last 3 years, and I'll say it for the 1,000,001 time. I believe one day his brain needs to be studied. The level of projection coming from that man is something I have never seen. And I have been with a malignant narcissist and abuser in my lifetime. Okay. I know it was almost 20 years ago at this point, but I've been with one. I know exactly how they operate. What the fuck? He can't stop basically telling on himself by projecting it out. Everything he claims someone else did is something he has done or is actively doing. I'm sorry, it's buffering, beach. It's got to be YouTube. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. You know, he just doesn't know how to stop. He doesn't want to stop. You're right. He doesn't want to stop. When he goes to prison, a lot of people can breathe and hopefully come together. He's part of the problem. And that's what people don't get, at least the very few people that still sort of like support him for no real reason. And half of the people that support him now, right now, just do it because he's already attacked them and they just don't want to be attacked again. So they do whatever he wants. They back him 100%, even if they know in their heart that he's wrong and he's done something wrong. They keep backing him because they don't want to be dealing with the incitement against them again. And so they run back to it. They run back to him to keep him happy, to keep him away from harassing them, which just is sad. That's essentially an abuser running back to an abuse victim, running back to their abuser, so their abuser will just leave them alone to keep them happy, right? Do what they want so they'll leave you alone. And he knows that. That's things he's been doing for a long time. A lot of people have done that, run right back to it. And his abusive, coercive control tactics, do what I want right now or else. And then he uses it. And he'll say, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to share all of our messages from the last 6 months. And they're stupid enough to keep talking to him after he attacks them the first time. So when he goes for the second time, ultimately, eventually, when they breathe the wrong way, or he creates a conspiracy in his head where they must have done something wrong because he can't blame himself ever for anything that he does, then he goes after him a second time and uses all that stuff again, like all the new stuff. And it's like, have some self-respect for yourself. This man makes fun of you behind your back, all of you. Every person that donates to his channel, every person that he calls a friend behind the scenes, he makes fun of all of you. He says that you're dumb and that you'll follow anything he says, that you'll keep donating to him and you'll always defend him no matter whether he's right or wrong. Even if he actually did it, you all are too stupid to see it, and that you're all just keep watching him and keep giving him money and keep making him money. He does this daily. Makes fun of the people that support him. It's disgusting. I have never seen someone with such a lack of awareness and at the same time with a lack of gratefulness for what they have or what people are giving them. It's fucking utterly gross.
It is the best therapy anyone could ever give to you.
He doesn't know anything about therapy.
Now, because then it'll slow down. It won't
Thank you,
stop
Nina.
immediately, but it'll be the beginning of the stop. And then people will forget about you. And that's it. Just fucking stop. Delete Jason Broyles and Obach from your fucking life.
Please.
They they thrive on this shit. They
What did
love it.
Unblock do?
They're not they giving you any money? They helping you out with your finances? Now you lost your job for all this internet drama? No? No? They're not helping you out at all? So what fucking good are they in your life? What goodness have they brought to your fucking life? Nothing. They have brought you chaos, financial insecurity
right now,
and destruction. That's it.
Important 5 things.
Your friends like me, Lauren,
like me,
Deanna.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Him, Lauren, and Deanna. Let me just point out, rightfully so, both Deanna and Lauren are fucking cowards. And I'll say it again. They're fucking cowards. Absolute fucking cowards. Lauren and Deanna had no problem blaming me for the picture that Deanna took of Lindsay at the Halloween party, and then Deanna sent to Lauren from the party. Both Lauren and Deanna knew who sent and received that picture. Deanna sent it to Lauren, yet they had no problem blaming me and telling Aiden it was me, an innocent person who knew nothing about this picture, for over 6 months because they were so afraid of what Aiden would do to them if he knew the truth. So both Deanna and Lauren are shitty human beings. I'll also point out that both of them follow Aiden around like fucking puppy dogs, okay? If they were friends of Meredith's, they would have checked on her after all this happened. They would have contacted her instead of just abandoning her to be to kiss his ass. Anyone with eyeballs can see how abusive the man is, how disgusting he is. I just put the wish list link in the comments here. But warning, there's only 4 things on it right now. A wise woman told me to only put the 5 most important things, and then when something comes off of it, then to add something back on. So I probably should add something since Amy so kindly and amazingly put the bet on there. I'm gonna I need these hampers. I need clothes hampers, and the ones I had broke. Maybe I'll put the hampers on there. I'll move the hampers over to that one now, since Amy was so kind enough to get the bet. So there's only 5 things on there. Yeah, well, girl, listen, my whole life is pink. It has to be pink. So don't be alarmed when you go to my wish list and most of the things that you're going to see are pink or black. I have to match the rest of my house, and everything is pink. My old wish list has a ton of stuff on it. I moved all of the stuff over there. But a wise woman said, just keep the 5 most important things that you need right now on there. And then when something gets bought, then you replenish. Oh, thank you, Nina. I have to match, girl. Listen, I'm a girly girl. I like it. Pink. Okay. It's got to matchies. It's the only things that aren't pink on there are anything Stitch related for my little. She absolutely loves Lilo and Stitch. Stitch is her favorite. Her bedroom is Stitch. And so when I put something on there for her that's Stitch related, she absolutely freaking, that's the only thing you're going to see is the things that's with the kiddos. My picture? Which picture? Well, for him, yeah. That's how he is. They're only useful if they pay, That's. Oh, thank you, Marcia. Yeah, it was about Purple Kool-Aid. It wasn't really about him. She did a show, and I do. If I was her, that's what I would do. Obviously, I can't speak for what she's going to do or isn't going to do. I have no idea. But if I was her, I would have probably already become state's witness at this point. More pro meritocracy. That's what he does. It's crazy to me. Oh, thank you, LTG. Well, there's always rules for him, but not anyone else. It's crazy to me. I love that you rescued them. That that makes my heart melt. Leah does a lot of that too. She's got such a big heart for animals and just people in general. Yeah, I don't know how good for you if you can fast forward through it. I know a lot of people say if you watch it on 2 times, then you can get through it, but I've never attempted it. Yeah, I don't know either if it's even true about her job, but if it is, they should have supported her. They should have supported her. They should have. They absolutely should have supported her because coercive control is part of abuse, and it's in the definition in the state of Massachusetts. They are supposed to support you, you know? They're supposed to. They didn't, though, you know? Yeah, but he's got to tell her, you know, like, get offline. No, you get offline. You leave people alone. I want those damn pink pants so bad. So bad. The handles come off of those, Nina. The handles come off so that when you put them in the cabinet, they're actually circular and they fit and they're not like all over the place. And then when you use it, you just put the handle back on and then, you know, the handle goes on each one. And then you take the handle off when you put them back in the cabinet so that, like, you know, they're not in there with all the handles going all sideways and all. They just stack, which is amazing in my opinion. So whoever came up with that was like the smartest person ever. I don't know if she actually did or not. That is just like what people say. But if she did, that's horrible. Oh, hey, girl. It is so nice to see you. And I'm so sorry about your pups. I'm sorry. I love the bathroom shawl. It's pink. Hello. Pink like Miss Gold. But I would be state's witness at that point. Because at what point, I mean, see, for me, it's like, I wouldn't want to keep putting up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's going to do it to her, he's going to do it to many other people, which is, you know, what I said a long time ago. And to be fair, when they first started dating, I remember saying a million times over, it's not an if, it's a when. It's not an if he goes after her. It's a when he goes after her. It's when they break up, he's going to go after her. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, it's absolutely financial abuse. It's also, you can argue, emotional abuse, mental abuse, right? I like to point out to people all the time that people just assume that abuse has to be someone punching you in the face. That is not true. Now, my abuser did use physical, right? But the mental and emotional abuse sometimes is worse. I'd rather be punched in the face than constantly gaslit, right? And made to feel this big. It's just, and that's, I can only speak for myself. But it doesn't, your abuser doesn't have to be physically abusive to be abusive, okay? Mental, emotional, financial abuse is part of coercive control, is using finances or trying to harm someone's finances. And that's why they changed here in Massachusetts the definition of abuse to include coercive control, because it's just awful. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Why in the actual hell should anybody be allowed to do that to another human being? You know? Why? I just don't get it. I love them. They're amazing. You're totally welcome, my friend. It's nice to see you. I was looking for you to see if you're on space, so I had to ask Amy, because I just came back, obviously. Oh, you back, girl? You back too? It does. You're totally right. It lasts a lifetime. I'm still dealing with it. You know, I find myself like, even after 20 years of not dealing with that abuse anymore, right? Even after not dealing with it for that long. Say my husband, for instance, comes behind me and gives me a hug. If I see out of the corner of my eye something coming, I might not know it's him, for him to just hug me, I still flinch. Like, not like, still out of nowhere. My husband's like, what are you flinching for? Like, you know, me and my husband have been together almost 12 years this year. And it's like, I have no reason to do that. It's odd. It happens like automatically. It's my trauma response, my fight or flight kicking in, right? And I do this automatic like thing. Even when my kids, they come, my little runs up and gives me a big hug. I'm like, sometimes that, you know, and it's like, I don't even mean to do it. It's just automatic. That's the response. That's my trauma response for so many years of dealing with that kind of abuse, you know, with my abuser so long ago. And the emotional and mental it's the same, right? It's things that automatically happen. You don't even think about. You'll have automatic things that you'll say, automatic reactions, like things that you never probably would have thought about until someone points it out, you know, of trauma responses. Yeah, and I mean, Jess admitted to calling her job, but if we think for 1 second that Jess magically got that idea by herself instead of having Aiden, you know, do it, then, I mean, come on, let's be honest here. He absolutely 100%, you know, made sure that she would do that, you know? It just drives me freaking bananas. Freaking bananas. They don't all have to learn it from someone. My abuser, for instance, grew up with his mom, right? His brothers, they were like split as kids, and the brothers lived with the dad. They chose to live with the dad, and he lived with the mom. The brothers came out fine, right? The mother wasn't a narcissist or a abuser in any way, but my abuser ended up like that. That's how he is. That's who he was, right? So I don't think, and as far as I know, just like Leah here says, I don't believe he had any abuse that he dealt with as a child. He's the oldest. I think, yeah, he's just kind of like broken, you know? I send all the love to Deidre, and I didn't say anything because I didn't know she wanted this information out there, but Deidre lost her pups, her pups, and she, you know, that's very sad. It's like family members, your dogs and your cats. You know, my cat's like a family member. Dora is like our little family member. If I lost Dora, it would be very sad. And so I send all of my love to Deidre and her pups and her family, because that's so hard. I know when Leah loses any one of her dogs, it is like next level apocalypse time. She loves those animals with her soul, you know? So when something happens to one of them, it's a horrible, horrible feeling, you know? That's, I think you have to remember, like, imagine what kind of torture he put his own family through. I mean, we do know that instead of being with his family right after his mom died, he was at the courthouse. And while she was dying, he was at the courthouse. I would have been at my mother's bedside. Screw the case, dude. Like, the case can wait. It's still going to be there afterwards, even if the trial's happening at that moment. Like, I can cover it from home. I don't need to be there physically. I need to be with my, you know, loved ones. So I forget what her, like, argument for the reason was, but it was a dumb fucking reason, you know? I mean, you never release everything, right? You only release little bits and pieces, because if you release everything at once, then the other person has nothing to lose, which is one of Aiden's biggest mistakes, is that he just releases like the one embarrassing thing about that person and then makes up the rest, you know what I mean? Or releases like the two embarrassing things from 2 years ago or 20 years ago, and then has nothing left. And so at that point, nobody has anything to be afraid of, and then they fight back. So it's like, you never drop everything, you know? He does, but I don't think that happened. I don't think that he had that problem, as far as what I understand with his family. He has a large family. He's had a lot of siblings. He is the oldest of all of them. His mom and dad are both accomplished people. I know he's got some mommy issues, but some of that is self-inflicted by his mother just being a little bit disappointed in her son. And I mean, wouldn't you be? You know? Me too, Beach. I feel like if I listen to 5 minutes of his shit, I literally feel abused at that point. Like, I feel like I have just been violated by having to listen to that scratchy voice of his just gaslighting the fuck out of someone or doing a rant. And we're still only, okay, let's finish this, because I can't listen to a lot of his nonsense.
Who actually gave a shit about you? You still fuck you guys. You're not feeding my desire for drama. Jason Broyles is.
No, please.
Obot
Everyone
is.
else but him.
That's
right?
who I like now. I like them. I love this. I fucking love it. And what have they brought you? Unemployment. That's it. Unemployment.
I love that he has the audacity to talk to anybody about employment. You know? Yeah, I do think it's a birth defect. I feel like he's just born without it. He doesn't have the capacity to love, you know? And sometimes it does come from trauma, and sometimes it's learned behavior. But with him, I think he's just honestly just was born broken. You know what I mean? I'm with Leah on this one, because I had a horrible childhood. And not, you know, it wasn't my family's fault, other than them not knowing about the abuse. Like, back then they weren't as, I don't know, they didn't know what they didn't know, right? And they weren't as diligent as we are now about certain things in the 80s, you know? And so my childhood was bad. A lot of it. There was a lot of good, but there was a lot of really bad shit too. And that just taught me how to not treat people. You know what I mean? Like, I would never want my children to feel the way that I felt. I would never want another human being to feel or go through any of the pain and just horrible, horrific things that I did from childhood to young adult, and even a little as an adult. I would never want that for anyone. And so it taught me who not to be, what not to be, what not to do, right? Because I know what that would feel like. And so at the very least, what it taught me was these are the things that people do that are bad, right? And this is what it makes a person feel like. So I was able to, at a very young age, know what gaslighting was, what an abuser sort of was, when I figured it out. And that taught me how to just be a better human being. That doesn't always happen like that, but I'm with Lee on that one. It teaches you what not to do, what not to be, you know? And yeah, some can come from trauma. Some people who are abused become abusers themselves. I mean, that's, you know, in the statistics and stuff, but I think Future's right. I think he's just born without a goddamn conscience. And he has a choice, right? He's an asshole, you know, a giant fucking asshole. It's who he is. It's who he'll always be, you know? It's just who he will always be. Yeah, I mean, those are always very nuanced. Like, that's why I said, like, there were a lot of good in my childhood too. My grandparents were the light of my life, and I was the light of theirs, and they helped raise me. But, you know, before my dad adopted me when I was like 4, before that, like, my biological dad is an alcoholic, always has been, always will be. And I didn't have that role model. I had my grandfather who stepped in, and he was a great male role model, but it's not the same as having, you know, your dad. And so there were a lot of different things like that, you know, a lot of different things like that. There's lots of dynamics, and it's a very nuanced, you know, where one family member can be amazing and another can be extremely toxic and for a kid. And there's no way, I mean, you can't leave say, for instance, you are the child of a narcissistic parent, like Leah had to deal with, or I had to deal with. What do you do in that scenario? You can't get away. You're a minor child, right? Like, you have to just deal with it. And that fucks you up for life, you know, for life. They're trying to go after her license, I know, but I don't think you should have a problem finding one. I still think you'd be an amazing mom. I think you should adopt. That's what I think. I think you should adopt a teenager that would absolutely love your love. I remember being a teenager in foster care, and they tell you after like 13 that you're just like probably not adoptable at that age. Like, no one's going to want a teenager, and it's just simply true. After like age 13 or 14, you're essentially non-adoptable. Nobody wants a kid that's about to be an adult, you know? Hey, Liquily, lots of tips. If you want to email me and you have specific questions, I'll happily give you all of the tips and tricks that I have learned to help you. If you have like specific things, I did put my email in the description of this video for anybody that wants to get in touch. I do answer. Sometimes it might take me a day, but I do. You know, grief does run deep, my friend. I am here for you. If you need me, you know how to get me. You just call me. My kids had the phone yesterday. They were watching videos and playing Roblox on my phone with the sleepover. So I didn't have lots of access to my phone yesterday. So for anybody I didn't get back to, I'm not ignoring you. The children had it. The children had it until this morning. Or maybe until the middle of the night. One of them put it on the bed. When I woke up, it was there. So see, and that's the thing. And you had to deal with that, right? Being fired from multiple jobs because the cult, there's so many people that had to deal with that too. Like, why should anybody lose their job because of these people? Like, this is fucking crazy. And they'll just do it again. You get another, they'll do it again and again and again and again, you know? Yeah, I mean, there could be just things that people are born with, you know? You know, it just is. But now, you know what? Leah has her own, she works for herself and she does an amazing job. You know, I worry about that too, but unfortunately we have no control, you know? And that Amy's right. Yeah, he is the oldest of 7. It's maybe he didn't get enough attention, but that's the other thing is narcissists need constant attention. That's why he does what he does, you know? But Amy's right. This is who he is. He won't stop until he is actually stopped. So if you are dealing with this and this is something you have been quiet about, please, I am begging you, file a police report. At the very least, talk to someone. My lines are always open for you guys. I've talked to many other victims of his. Like, don't suffer in silence alone. You are not the only one. I promise you. But if you allow him to keep getting away with it, he'll continue doing it. He just will, you know? He just will. It's sad. Oh, thank you, Nina. I don't know how to read this in your amount, your the what do they call it in Switzerland? I know it's not, is it dollar? Do they use dollars in Switzerland? Because I know British sometimes have pounds, it's called like yen in is it Japan or China? So like different, it calls it different things in different countries. But thank you, Nina, for the 45. I don't know if it's what it's called, dollars or whatever. It'll change over when I change it over on my PayPal. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, Nina. Oh yeah, he has money. Swiss francs. I love that. Swiss francs. See, I'm like a information, like I love that kind of, I mean, I know I'm a weirdo, but like I love that kind of like history information. I did spend my Sunday watching stuff about ancient Egypt because I'm a history buff on things like that. And I love watching stuff about the mummies and the way that they lived back then and the things that they found in the tombs and new things that they found in the tombs. And they're currently looking for Cleopatra's tomb and they think that they're sort of on the right path. They found some statues of Cleopatra. So I just spent my day off, which was yesterday, sort of watching different ancient Egypt things and just feeding my knowledge of things that I like to learn about, you know? Hey! And that's right. That's the point, right? So ultimately, Leah started her own company and does amazing with her dogs, and the dogs are extremely lucky to have her, you know? Oh, Ignis, that's going, he goes after everyone's job. He doesn't like, you know? I still can't see Queen of the Pool's comments. I'm so sorry. I know you're probably making really good comments. I don't know what the actual is going on. I apologize, my friend. Yeah, phone calls and emails. Like, who the hell does that? You have to go thousands of miles or hundreds of miles to get the fuck away from him and still can't leave you alone. What does that tell you? I mean, we're talking 7 years later and he still says Leah's name. Like, what do you want from her, bro? Like, what do you fucking want, you know? Yeah, for real. I'm for real. They really are. They really are. I mean, that's sad. It's insane. Like, why? For what? But yeah, he does have money. He gets a free cottage down the Cape. I wish, you know what I mean? Like his whole life is fabricated, but yes, he does have money. He absolutely does. He used to not before this case, but now he's got plenty of money, you know? Developmental like delays. Yeah. Just crazy to me. Hey girl, hey. No worries, no worries. I use tabs sometimes too. Yeah, that's true. Not all habits are. I mean, eventually, I hope to kill this vaping habit, but I mean, it helped me quit smoking. So, yes, thank you, Nina. I appreciate you. He does want relevance. I mean, that's part of the problem, though, is that people give it to him, right? It's Queen of the Pool. Wait, I want to get it right. Hold on, Queen of the Pool. I know she's not blocked because other people wouldn't be able to see it. So it's weird. I think it's just YouTube. It was doing that. Ski couldn't see the comments earlier. So I don't know what. I think it's just YouTube glitching the hell out. I honestly don't think there's anything we can do. But I don't know. See, I can't speak for her. I have no idea. But I mean, I can only say what I would do, right? And obviously, you know, she has more information, obviously, than I do about what she's dealing with, right? But at least for me, like if I had all of that, I probably at some point would try to get an order, at least now. I feel like there's more than enough now to get one. But as we know, Massachusetts is kind of weird with believing his bold-faced fucking lies and his spin on things. And so you never really know, depending on what court you're in, whether the judge is going to actually follow the law or just hear narrative, you know, which we've seen happen in Dedham. So it's tricky, you know, but I do think at this point I'd probably be a state's witness on this shit because there's so many things, you know. The lowest, I mean, he has no low. After calling, Alex a liar and wishing like people to die from cancer, like you know, what's next is the same old shit. He kind of repeats Nina. That's what he does. He does. Leah can tell you this too. Like it's kind of like repetitive. He'll do the same things sort of over and over, just with a new group of people. So like all of his inner circle will leave, and then a new inner circle comes, and he'll play the same games over and over and over. It's repetitive and it's predictable. It's just about who it's going to be next. You know, and whether you breathed wrong or didn't lie for him or don't agree with him on something, that he loses his ever-loving mind, you know? I mean, I do believe he needs like Sexaholics Anonymous. I fully believe in my heart that man is probably a sex addict and needs serious help. I don't know because he was just a dweeb most of his life, and women wanted nothing to do with him. If that's why or what, but he needs, yeah, look, I was just about to do that. You read my mind and whatnot over there, Eddie? You must be. You must be. I was literally on X over. That's why I just took that off the screen so I could. You're reading my mind. That's exactly what I'm doing, is bringing into space. So I'm going to start space 2. So that way, those of you that want to talk to me and get on spaces and talk, at least some of the people here on the stream can hear us back and forth. So I'm going to start space. Yeah. All right, space started. So for those of you that want to join the space and speak, let's do it. Oh God, this fake account of Nan, like, go away, you weirdo. The only person I know who would want to like do this shit is Aiden himself or his minions. Like, you need help. Like, you need help. You know? Like, you need fucking help. Apparently Jess said she had to return her old Navy sweatsuit she bought because it was too big. I can't imagine that happened. I don't like Old Navy. Nothing fits me right there. I still want to see the video where she has another meltdown. You know, apparently. I don't blame you, my friend. I don't blame you. He is miserable and full of hate. That's who he is. It's who he is, you guys, unfortunately. It's just who he is. He's a hateful little angry troll. I'm turned away. Be afraid of me. You know? And that's the other thing. He uses other people's intelligence, other people's knowledge, other people's, and that's why like he'll get on a show and act like he knows something. It's because someone else told it to him and he believes that they're right. So he just says it with so much confidence. And most of the time his minions are wrong. And so he's just feeding people false information. But he tries to use other people's sort of intelligence and pretend it's his own. And the problem with that is he lies so much and contradicts himself so much everyone can see through it, you know? Danny wants to know what made Leah like him in the first place. I don't know. Only Leah can answer that question, but I do believe a lot of it has to do with Aiden just being very cunning and manipulative. You know, I feel like he's extremely manipulative. And, you know, so many people sort of fall for that, thinking he's a good person, or he pretends to be the victim in scenarios and makes you believe that he's the actual victim. It's part of what narcissists do, you know? It's YouTube. Yeah, it can't just be my channel. It has to be something that's glitching out, dude, because so for those of you who I can't see your comments, I apologize. It is not. I promise you, if I could see it, I would be popping them up. If I'm not seeing them, it's clearly there's something going on with it. Weird. Yeah, my mod said Queen of the Pool. It's not. She checked to see if it was like on our end at all, just to make sure. Looks like it's on YouTube's end. Weird. I don't see anything on yours. I don't understand why. Has to be YouTube. My mod just checked. You want to be on Mike's show? Ask Mike. I'm sure he'd have you on. I feel like Mike would have you on. That would be fun. Has he reached out yet? Has who reached out yet? Oh, you have talked about doing one? That's awesome. JFK says Blair is trying to flip sides. Oh, well, I would bet he would at some point flip against TV. I feel like he will eventually when he starts to see that like Aiden's gonna flip on him. That's when he'll try. And it's like, too late for that, bro. You doubled and tripled down on shit. So I do have a Spaces up. So for any of you who want to pop on Spaces and talk, the people here will be able to hear you on my live stream. But if you want to make a comment, talk, I am on Spaces. I just started the Spaces, and you can pop over there and ask to speak. I'm glad to see you. Thank you. Love you. Text me later. Oh my God, imagine if he had a turtle boy tattoo. Turtle tattoo right on his ass. Imagine, Leah. Hey, Rando, nice to see you. Now that you're back. Well, TV and Just Do admit the drama pays well, but that's why they won't stop. You know, that's why. That's exactly why. There are a lot of cases. Actually, Hank was just doing a case here in Massachusetts, and I'm hearing that people are loving Hank, and it's like, well, he's a brilliant. That's why. Melanie Little, I think, always has been jealous of Dan. It's weird fucking behavior. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, the Blair talked mad shit about TV, and TV talked mad shit about the Blair. That's the funniest part. That's the funniest part, is they talk shit about each other so much, they never realize it. Like, I promise you, you will never find a message of me talking shit about my friend, right? There's not a singular message that you're going to find of me talking shit about Leah, ever. What you're going to see is me defending her. Why? Because that's my friend. You don't talk shit about your friends. You know what I mean? Aiden talks shit about everybody. He doesn't have friends. That's the difference. He doesn't have friends. He simply does not. Doesn't know how to have friends. He never will know how to have friends. Rando has a question, says, question. Prior to Blair, Kim, Jimmy, Jess, did Aiden have a previous online crew other than Kate? Yeah, he did. He did. So he kind of just goes from like, I guess, group to group and person to person. And like, he'll pick up people, and then those people will end up in group chats or online things with him, and then to have him on a show, maybe they have him on their show one time, and then he never goes on again. Because after that, he kind of shows his true colors. It's you know, JFK wouldn't say if there's no receipts. Well, I feel like there's a lot of receipts about people that like maybe they just don't have yet, you know. Well, that's the thing. He charmed himself there. Queen, maybe if you go out of YouTube and pop back in, maybe that'll fix it. I'm not sure. Maybe it could just be just YouTube being silly, but try that and see if that works. He somehow charmed himself into Karen's single team. Well, he was doing the, you know, being on social media and sort of just, you know, doing all the being the mouthpiece work. And so, you know, Laura from London, isn't she still like following her? Isn't there like one from London that still like does shit for him from over there? And he's like, oh, they can't do anything to her because she's overseas. And it's like, I think that works for just you, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? Well, that's the thing. Most people at some point do wake up and see that he's full of shit. It's about getting them to wake up, because once you see it and you step back and you see it, you can't unsee it. You cannot unsee it. It's not something you can unsee, you know? It's just simply not. Bingo card. I'm telling you, that was a lot of the shit. Just some of the shit that happens daily is just, I'm like, that wasn't on my bingo card. You know what I mean? Well, that's the thing. I mean, back and forth, he's talked shit about Aiden quite a few times to quite a few different people. A lot of these people try to keep it at least private. What happens is one person shares it, then another person shares it, then another person shares it, and it ends up over here. We get it at some point. And then, we start to see where they can't stand each other because they think they're stealing each other's money and hype and viewers and, all the petty shit. And it's like, people are so much stronger together than they are apart. Like, if you were a good human, you would want to help other people rise. You wouldn't want to be like, oh, you went live a half an hour at the same time as me, and so for that half an hour, you were stealing money from me. Like, that's just like childish behavior. You should want to make sure the people that you care about or the people you collaborate with are rising in the same way that you are. You know, like you want to lift people up, not knock people down. I mean, come on now. That's crazy. It's crazy to me. I said that too. That might be the only other thing is if I was blocked, but she wasn't here the other day, so that doesn't make sense either. I don't know. I have to play Brett's, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Brett's restraining order here that Aiden did to try to get a restraining order against Brett's kind of funny. I mean, that's how many times does that man run to the police, but then say that the police are corrupt? You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're all corrupt, they're all out to get me, but he runs right to them over missing shoes and, you know, trying to false charges on people, you know. Oh, yes, please, YBE. I would love that. Leah knows she's always welcome here. It's a different audience. You know, Mike's got a different audience. Well, some people cross over, but Mike's got a different audience. It would be nice to have some of the people who watch Mike actually hear Leah out. You know, I know what happened. You know, like I know a lot of you know. So it's like, Mike is a different audience. It would be about getting it out to other people to sort of understand what he has done, you know? Yeah, that's been happening for quite some time though. You know, it's also like Aiden puts people in really shitty positions and doesn't care about what it does to them as long as he gets himself out of it. And then of course people take exception to it and they're like, what the fuck? Aiden put me in this really shitty position. Now I can't do anything about it. But it's like, Peggy's right. Claire's no different. He's going to be discarded by Aiden in the same way. And eventually Aiden's going to blow up on him like a Hiroshima bomb in the same way that he does to everyone else, you know? I mean, that's very true, Justice. He does cry over a lost shoe. I think a tattoo might be too much for him. How much do you want to bet that if Aiden ever tried to get a tattoo like somewhere like here, where mine is, that he would have to get the numbing cream because he couldn't handle the pain? The pain getting closer to like right here, where your elbow is on the inside of your arm, it hurts. It hurts pretty badly. And I can only imagine him crying like a baby back bitch. Maybe he'll do another one of the, you know, kicking, screaming on the floor get-ups, you know? Like maybe we'll see another one of those with him. I feel like that's like standard practice for manipulation when it comes to him is the whole throw the tantrum on the floor thing. Like, I mean, let's be honest here. It's coercive control. It's part of what he does. Oh, damn it. It's telling me each one of my files. God damn it. Hold on. See if I can get rid of one of these files. Each 100 images, please delete some files before uploading more. Oh, that's annoying. Like, what the hell, man? I wanted to upload. Maybe if I do this one. Open. Because I just feel like it should be played. We should show the world exactly what the fuck he does. Found it. Here it is.
Can you please go? I can't go back. Can you please go? I can't go back.
That's his go-to. That's his go-to. He can't go back. Then he'll claim it's some, you know, panic attack that it's not, you know. Not sure you saw my previous comment, Queen. Yesterday on Can We Keep It Real, Miss GNX had your issue. Can't see own comments. And last night on JFK, someone else had the same issue. Can't recall which. Yeah, see, it's gotta be something with YouTube. It's friggin' weird. I mean, if he rebrands, people are still gonna know who he is. You know what I mean? Like you can rebrand all the fuck you want. You know? Oh, she is the same one. That's what I thought. Do I believe he's the one that leaked Karen's audio? Yeah, absolutely. Do you know how many times he's shared shit like that to other people? You know? Exactly, Shay. If he was so worried, guess what? He'd change his fucking behavior. He wouldn't keep doing this dumbass shit. I mean, it'll never not be funny, to be fair. To be fair, I totally watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last night on Amazon Prime's live cartoon channel for free, and the old 1990s versions, 80s and 90s versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I loved it. Oh yeah, he screenshotted a bunch of signal messages. I told people that probably 2 years ago. He loves to screenshot shit like signal messages and then send them to other people to brag. Look at, I'm talking to Karen Reed. Look at what she said. Look at what he said. And he keeps it and sends it to people. And then what happens is those people send it to other people. And those people send it to other people. And every single time, he can't stop sharing shit because that's what a narcissist needs, a little pat on the back, right? He needs somebody to be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Ha ha ha, so funny. Like, he needs somebody to comment on it. That is why he does it, you know? Bunny boiler, that's true. You know, some bunnies that need to be boiled. No real bunny should be harmed. I'll talk about real ones. We love real fluffy bunnies. They're amazing and cute and adorable. We're talking about the fake ones. Just making a joke. But yes, I mean, he shares audio, video, signal messages, text messages, group chats, like you name it, he shares it. There isn't anything that he doesn't share, you know? I feel like they do that. Amy, I do have a spaces up in case anybody wants to talk. But yeah, I mean, that's what he does. It's who he is, guys. It's never not going to be who he is, unfortunately. It's sad because there are so many people that he has hurt. Their real lives have been destroyed by him. And he's one of those people that does not learn from his behavior, you know? I just don't get how people can actually support him at this point. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can do a YouTube and a Spaces. I'm doing both right now in case anybody wants to like talk. I don't like to, I could just open the link. I don't like to do that because it can allow in, you know, people for, I mean, right now we have close to 300 people just watching us here on X alone, and then a little over 100 on YouTube and a couple on Facebook. But the bulk of my audience right now is watching from Twitter. And then I have a Spaces up right now in case anybody wants to talk. That way I can let people talk and then you guys can hear it, right? Because I know some of you guys don't have Twitter. Some of you don't have Twitter. Some of you guys don't do Spaces. So it's a good way to integrate both of them, you know? The funny part, Kim keeping it moving said, is the funny part is I unfollowed because TV was so disrespectful and racist to Valerie. Only for Valerie to not care and keep defending him. He has Satan level power. You know what's sad about that? I talked about this a little bit earlier, is that a lot of the people that get like harassed by him or smeared by him or he shits on, they go back to him because it's a way to stop him from continuing to do it. So it's to stop him from targeting them. If they're on his side, then he's not targeting them. That's their thinking, right? Like if he's not doing that, then, you know, I don't know who this is. Let's find out. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
What you doing over there?
Did I just become your like best friend? Cause I heart you.
Oh, you heart me?
Well, I have an irregular heartbeat, but I think you're really nice.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who are you and how dare you? Actually, that's technically two questions. I'm sorry about that.
It is two questions. I dare a lot. I'm very bold. You know, I dare a lot,
Really?
actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm Elise.
So
That's who I am.
I'll be very honest with you. My name's Rusty. Nice to meet me. But you're a very bold lady, and I like that.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
I'm assuming you're from California or something. I don't know.
Nope. Boston.
Really?
Yep. From Massachusetts.
Okay, so two questions. I love people from Bath and like You don't have that accent though, but I thought the Boston accent was like pretty cool.
I do. It just comes out more when I'm pissed off. When
Okay,
I'm angry and when I'm ranting, it comes out more than when I'm just
like
having a conversation.
should I say stuff to make you angry so I can hear your accent, or just want me to be nice to you?
I mean, if you make me angry, I'm just gonna boot you. That's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun. Not for you, it won't be. I mean, for me, I'll just probably laugh. But I mean, see, I don't do trolls because I give the people the respect that they give me. See, so when people come and they just troll, I just get rid of them. It's not worth my time.
Well, I have the time if you have the place.
I mean, we're in a place, right?
Um,
This is technically a
my
place.
my name's Rusty. I'm from Canada. You
Hi, Rusty
seem
from
like
Canada.
you seem nice. Like I don't want to upset you. I just
I mean, I'm a decently nice person. I do, like I said, I give people the same respect that they give me.
okay. Well, I get on here, like everyone's like, "Oh, Rusty, you're a troll," but I'm an ex-hockey. You like hockey, obviously, because you're from Boston.
I don't watch a
I-
ton of hockey. I am from Boston. I do like the Bruins, but I don't watch a ton of hockey, actually.
yeah, but whatever. You're making me smile, so I guess that's a good starting point.
It is a good
I'm
starting point.
I'm sick, so that's why my voice is kind of like.
Yeah, I hear that. That sucks. I just had a friend who had COVID, so hope you feel better.
So I apologize. I'm sorry. Like I'm not
That's
trying to
okay.
like be mean to you. Um, hey, like you're from Boston. Like I'm super stoked. I love people from Boston. What's tell me like the big dig? I heard about that. I don't know what it is because it
The
like
Big
you're
Dig was
like
a shit show. It was a giant shit show. It was just basically them redoing the highway in certain places, and it cost millions and millions of dollars and more years than it should have to actually finish the Big Dig. So it was just one giant shit show getting in and out of Boston for like a decade.
so. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't
I
know
mean, it
much about
wasted taxpayer money, so it was kind of a bad thing for anybody who lived here because it was a nightmare to get into Boston, and it lasted like over a decade. So
it.
it wasn't supposed to.
There was this other TV show I watched with one of my friends. It was some but on a hill. Is
What was
that
it?
like a something on a
Bunker
hill? Like
Hill?
oh no, now you're gonna make K. Now you're gonna make me think. But it was to do like um Kevin Bacon was like in the movie star or whatever in the movie. Or it was a TV show. But it was something to do on the hill. Because like in Boston, can,
We
can
have
I
Bunker Hill, but I don't know any other hill.
can I use my Boston accent?
You can try.
I know you're gonna make fun of me either way. It's
I'm
like
not. You can try.
it was like from Bath.
Benny said the show he thinks you're talking about was on HBO.
Yes, I think that was the one. But with Kevin Bacon, it was only 2 seasons. He was like a cop in Boston. Um, anyway,
This was a while ago, though, wasn't it? This wasn't like new, right? Right?
maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was not like recent, not in the last like 2 years.
Yeah, it
I think
wasn't
I
like
remember seeing something about that, but I don't have cable. I haven't had cable. I prefer streaming services, so I don't really watch a ton of the stuff that was like. But I do remember seeing something about Kevin Bacon being on a show, but I never watched it. So
well, that's okay. I'm a Canadian, and you don't have to judge me. Blah blah blah.
I
So
don't. My audience wants to know if your name is actually Shane. They would like to know this.
you talking to me?
Yes.
My name's Tyler.
He says his name's Tyler, guys. His name's not Shane. They want to know if it's called Hill Street Blues. I have no idea what that is.
That was like an old school like Boston show, but it was on the hill. That's sort of please don't make me please don't make well you have followers,
I
so go
do, yeah.
there. Yeah, so like it was something to do on the hill, but it was Kevin Bacon, and it was like he was like a cop, in Boston, and it was really good. But it was only like 2 seasons.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think I saw that one.
and your
Called
type
City
of
on the Hill. It's called City on the Hill. Benny said.
City on the Hill, maybe. Yeah, that sounds right. It was
I
really
have no
good. It was
idea. Oh yeah, someone
really
else
good.
said City on the Hill as well.
Okay, so what it blew my mind because I was like, is this really like what America is like? And I was like, oh, I don't know what America's like.
No, I mean, to be fair, America's a shit show in the same way that every other country is a shit show. We have a lot of taxes. We have a lot of asshole people. We have a lot of good people, but we have a lot of, shady politicians, and a lot of shitty people. But then we have a lot of good, decent people. I mean, I guess it depends on where you go. This isn't, Boston isn't down south. There's a lot of southern hospitality down there, but not Boston people can be very abrasive and rude and ignorant.
Okay, so Miss Boston lady, how do I
Mhm.
address you appropriately? Like
You can call me Elise.
Elise?
Elise, yep.
Okay, that's a nice name. So Elise.
Thank you.
So I drove to America one time, and you're gonna laugh at me or whatever. Blah blah blah.
How many hours did it take you to drive? I'm just asking because I remember I drove way up into Maine. I think it was like my friend's daughter lives up there, and it was like 6.5 hours just to get to that part of Maine, which was close to Canada, but not like it would have been another couple hours to get to Canada.
At least you're a sweet person, okay?
Oh, thank you.
So I did it like it was in February, so like I did it for rugby, and I drove from where I'm from. I'm in the center of Canada, like Winnipeg, blah blah blah, down to Galveston, Texas, 26.5 hours.
26.5. I mean, I know it took me, I think it was 26 hours to get from here to Miami, Florida. I've not been to Texas, but to Miami, Florida took 26 hours with stopping for like gas and stuff, but driving straight through. We didn't stop like overnight or anything, but that is a long drive for sure.
I did it straight. My buddy, we
We did
stopped
it
in
straight too.
Omaha. My buddy stopped. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, his name's Tibby. I'm like, Tibbs. I'm like, okay, just stop. Well, like we went in like I think it was like Omaha, Nebraska or something. Um, like just because I was like, hey, let's get a beer. And there's a club or whatever. Like we're 25 at the time, right?
Yeah.
And
I would love to be in my 20s again. That would have been great. I would love a time machine to go back to my 20s. I had so much fun in my 20s. The 30s haven't been that great to me.
oh my God, Kate. Let's definitely like tell stories about that. Anyway, I'll keep my story short here. I'm sorry about that. And they saw our Canadian IDs or whatever, right? And they're like, nah. And like we're big dudes, right? Like we're rugby players.
Yeah.
They didn't let us in there, and yeah, whatever. It is what it is, I guess, right? But we continued on, and yeah, I went all the way to Galveston, Texas. It was fun, and then we came back. And it was really awesome. Um, I used to love
Texas
like
was fun.
I used to love America. Like like just like I used to go to Minnesota, North Dakota. Like two of my best friends, like rugby, they fly those B-52 bombers out of
Oh,
North
those are so
Dakota.
cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Those are so
They-
cool. We
okay.
had an air base where I grew up in Weymouth. It no longer is an air base anymore. They like built condos on it, but my grandparents used to bring us to watch the planes and the bombers. They used to do like I don't know, it was like one of those like events where like the bombers would come and they come down low and then we do these formations or whatever. But it was very cool as a kid to be able to go there and watch them do that there on the airbase.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Are you are you in Florida or like where's that sort of?
No, it was in Massachusetts. It was here.
Oh my goodness.
It was fun.
I don't want to be this guy. I just want to be your friend. Okay. You sound like my voice is cracked because I'm sick. So I apologize. Normally I have a
That's
regular.
okay. No worries.
You sound like a really nice person. My goodness.
Oh, I try, I do. I'm running Spaces and the live stream at the same time right now, so.
I could never pronounce Massachusetts appropriately
Yeah,
because
so you just call it mass. Just call us mass holes. We're fine with it. Okay.
you're a math, you're a masshole, and that's
Yep.
funny.
Masshole. You could just call me masshole. We totally are okay with it. We made it up about ourselves anyway. We're massholes.
Okay, so I have to ask you this other question.
Sure.
Like I watch, the TV shows or whatever, where you guys go for lobster fish, and then I'm from Massachusetts. Blah,
You have to
blah,
have
blah.
lobster boils in the summertime. You got to have lobster boils, and the lobsters, they actually like scream when they're being boiled. It's kind of morbid, but it happens.
My God. Okay, I reserve another question for you in a moment, if I may.
Sure.
But
Two questions, and then we're gonna pop another caller up.
so I was watching like these videos the other day, and it was this woman or whatever. Not the fact it was a woman, but they have these lobster boats or whatever from Massachusetts.
Yep.
And they're sort of like reversing it, and everyone's like, "Wow, that's super awesome." I'm like, okay, like not that it wasn't not awesome, but there's like they were super stoked by it. It was like it was a woman. I was like, like that's awesome.
There's actually quite a few women that get on those fishing boats too, and they do long times out there getting the things like lobster and stuff in the summertime.
So okay, so I have like if you went down to Arkansas or somewhere down in the states, whatever, like they have like little mini lobsters and the like crawfish or whatever, I guess is what they call them.
Down south, they like the crawfish. We're not too much into that here, but they do like crawfish down south. A lot of Louisiana do a lot of seafood bakes with crawfish.
So where I'm from, in the middle of Canada, blah blah blah. Some stupid American brought them in here, and they're very aggressive. So, like when I snorkel, like I go underwater, blah blah blah. Oh, look at my
And there's crawfish.
Yeah, so they put their claws up. So what I do is I just grab them, blah blah blah.
They're usually little. They're not usually huge.
Yeah, well, I guess considered like probably what you're used to. Yeah, they are little.
Yeah.
But I grab them and I put them in like anything is pretty good. Like if you have a lot of like melted butter,
Oh, yeah, I gotta love melted butter with lobster. I mean, you can't not have melted butter with lobster. That would be like, against the law, in my opinion. That'd be like putting, and I'm gonna offend people here, but that's like putting pineapple on pizza. Fucking no with the pineapple on the pizza. Okay, you can't put pineapple on pizza.
Whoa! Stop the clock, lady. That's
You
called
can't do it.
Hawaiian.
I know.
That's
I'm just not a
invented by
fan of pineapple
Canadians.
on pizza. It
It's
was
so
invented by
good.
Canadians. I don't know. I like
It's
pineapple.
so
I just don't like it on my pizza.
It's so sweet though. Like, how do you not
It is
not
sweet.
like?
I don't know. I just don't like the sweetness on my pizza, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I like it separate, not on a pizza.
Okay. Okay. So I'm coming over. We're making a grease wheel. What are you cooking?
Probably a chicken broccoli Alfredo because that's amazing, or a shepherd's pie, an American shepherd's pie. That's what I'm making.
Oh, so we just call it a cottage pie then?
Yeah, you guys call it. Well, it depends on what you use as meat, right? Cottage pie, I think originally wasn't beef. It was lamb. I believe it was lamb.
The original cottage pie is lamb, but that's why I was saying you're correct. It's beef.
Yeah, we call it shepherd's pie. That's what we call it.
I apologize in advance. I don't want to be this guy, but you're friggin' amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you appreciating me. So I guess there's that. You know what they say?
Well, I'm going to hop back onto the topic because I have this live stream running too. So I'm going to hop back on the topic for these guys, but I'm happy that you came up to speak. It was totally nice to meet you and happy to, you know, have you listening in our spaces.
You're an amazing broad.
Oh, thank you.
I wish I had girlfriends just like you.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, smell you later.
Smell you later.
You're funny. I like you. What? I'm just trying to be.
Well, that was that and all. Cottage pie is beef. Shepherd's pie is lamb. Okay, well, we call it shepherd's pie. We use beef. We do. We use beef. I can't help but to use beef. Hello? It's like shepherd's pie is loved in my household. Okay. I know. Some of you like pineapple on pizza. I cannot do pineapple on pizza. I apologize, guys. Okay. Oh, congrats, Brown Eyes, to your daughter and you. I love that. She's officially a U.S. Navy sailor. My friend was a Navy sailor. She was in the Navy. I love that for her. You know, I do my best, Amy. Listen, I do treat anybody with respect who treats me with respect, even if they're attempting this role or, you know, like once they get out of hand, that's the second that they go. But I give everybody a chance, a shot. You know, you don't always know. And you guys know how I am. I'm not a mean person. You know what I mean? I'm not a mean person. I try to be patient. And believe me, if this was 10 years ago, I don't have patience 10 years ago. You know, I don't, no, nope. I have patience now. See, I do. But I attempt, you know, to do the right thing when it comes to people. Ooh, pineapple wrapped in bacon. Never tried that. I've never tried that. That's for sure. I have no idea, Heartstar. That's a good question. You know, I'm just being me, guys. I'm just doing my fucking lights. I can't with this. You know what? There's a ghost. All right, I got a ghost in here. My lighting is like, why is it like not standing? This is my light today. Okay, it's just not cooperating, and this one keeps shutting off, and I have literally no idea why. I'm guessing it's my light strip, my power strip. I might need a new one, but it is like not my light is not cooperating with me, and it looks very dark in here, and I don't understand. But even though the light is like shining behind me, it's just being obnoxious, and I don't know why. I don't know. It isn't never a dull moment in my life. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. All right, could not attempt to. I don't even know, Lisa. I'm not even sure myself. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't. That's a good question, Nina. I have no idea. No clue. Right? We'll figure it out later, I guess. We'll figure it out later. Well, he's got a good friend. You know, listen, I'll be friendly with anybody. Rusty, Tyler, whatever his name is. You know, from Canada, from Canada. Cubed pineapple. They sell that? They sell cubed pineapple? That's like a thing? Yeah, I'm not a pineapple on the pizza person. I can't do it. I can't do it. I feel like in this moment, I should say go gadget arms. Should have like 7 arms doing 7 different things right now, like one on the mute button, one on not. Yeah, I kind of, sort of, I have spaces up right now just so that people like lovely Amy and Deidre and all of you who are on X could come up and talk if they wanted to. Because I like to hear you guys' you know, little tidbits on things too. I didn't know they sold canned pineapple. See, now I'm learning new things. I had no idea canned pineapple was a thing. You know, I didn't know that was a thing. I had no friggin' idea. No clue. No clue what a goddamn thing. Well, now I know the cubed pineapple is a thing. Thank you, Leah, for telling me about the cubed pineapple. But yes, I have a spaces going, you guys. Just the same as I have the live stream up here. So I just saw a clip. Hold on. I wanted to go. Where did it go? Did somebody ask me about Joe Flip Ahead earlier? They did, right? I don't know. You know, my answer to that is like he went back in the same way that Valerie went back, like you guys were talking about earlier. And it's essentially really just to keep him from going after them again, in my opinion. I've watched too many people go back and realize, well, like, in my opinion, that's why they go back to that kind of fucking behavior, because it stops him from harassing them. But what they don't realize is eventually he'll just do it again. It's like, it's a waste of, you're wasting time. You know what I mean? You're wasting time trying to, right. I don't get it. It's like, I don't understand. Like, does Flippa not understand that Aiden is the one who like spearheaded having him charged? I mean, hello, you know, like, come on. I'm telling you, my best friend, God rest her soul, but she messes with lights too. So I'm convinced every time lights flicker, because it's happened in every house that I have been in since she passed in 2014. And I'm telling you, it's her. She fucks with my lights no matter where I live, no matter where I am. Like, I'm telling you, I fully believe it's her deep in my heart there. Wait, he did? What did I miss last night? I was, with the girls, and they had my phone, so I like just watch TV, and I don't ever really watch TV unless I'm gonna fall asleep. I put the TV on, but I don't really watch a ton of TV. And yesterday, I found myself watching a bunch of TV because I couldn't read, because I had they had my phone. All the books that I have, I've read like 5 times over. So I like to read different things like on my phone, and the girls had it, so I was kind of like, all right, well, I guess I'll educate myself on the ancient Egyptian history, and that's what I did. So. Pineapple chicken Thai fried rice is one of my favorites to make. I didn't even know that was a thing. Is it crack? That's a good, Kim, keep it moving. That's a good, I don't fucking know. That's a good point. I don't, why you would want to go back. You should be scared of getting on Twitter. It's a cesspool. I'm not kidding. It really is. There's just a lot of really bad shit that happens there. But again, a lot of that has to do with Aiden and a lot of his minions that just attack people because he said they're bad. Like today he said they're bad. And what he doesn't tell people is his quote reasoning, which is usually because they don't agree with him anymore, because they think he's a shitbag and they watched him do something shady and they know about it or they have evidence of it. So he's got to smear them first so that people will attack that person and say they're bad. So when they finally do tell everyone what happened, no one believes them. It's his MO. He's been doing it for 10 years. Even if someone has a lot of dirt on him, people will ask, well, why would he go after them first? He's not that stupid. If they really had dirt, he would never go after them first. No, he would, and he will, and he does, and he has for the last 10 goddamn years. There's nothing different about that, ever. Like, he does the same things over and over and over. It's all predictable at this point, all of it. Oh my God, the bromance rumors. No, I think the Blair likes the bromance rumors, to be honest with you. He's another sick fuck, in my opinion. I don't think he's getting paid by Aiden. I honestly think it's fear. I kid you not. I think it's out of fear. I mean, look, they got him charged, right? Like, I honestly believe it's out of fear. Same thing with Valerie. And I also think that she just likes attention. Like, she's just looking for someone or some people to accept her and like her. So she jumps sort of group to group to group to group. Like, her big thing was, how could anybody watch my show or be friendly with me if I believed that Karen wasn't innocent? And it's like, I don't have to believe the same thing as every single person to be nice or kind or friendly to them. I treat people the way they treat me, right? So to sit there and be like, nobody should watch this person if they think Karen is guilty. Well, okay, so everyone should stop watching Aiden after he decided that he was going to smear her too. I mean, at what point do you become a hypocrite, right? She told people that she could not respect the fact that I changed my opinion, and she could never talk to someone like that. Fast forward 3 weeks later, when she gets on a Spaces with Meredith and says that she respects the fact that Meredith could change her opinion based on new information, which is actually what I did, right? And it's like, you just said 3 weeks ago that you couldn't do that. So which is it, Valerie? You're a fucking hypocrite and one of the worst kind, And it's just, I mean, Joe to run back, like, he's just going to learn the hard way. Aiden's going to do something shitty to him eventually, and he's going to learn the fucking hard way. It's like, I don't know why these people put their livelihoods, their lives on the line to defend a man who's going to keep doing really bad shit. There's more than ample amount of evidence for a normal brain to say, holy shit, he's a bad person who does bad things, right? Like, all of the evidence is out there. To ignore all of that evidence and pretend like he didn't do anything wrong and to pretend he is the victim is not logical. It's not logical, not even a little bit. And that's a good question. Was there a deal that like Olivia will leave drop the charges if he just like backs him, That, I mean, to be fair, YBE, he does try to make deals like that. if you do this, I'll leave you alone. All the time. It's usually worded in a manner of either you do this or I'm going to come after your family, though. It's usually a threat. You know, that's usually how it is. It's usually a threat. Hi, Nina. Oh, did it not work? Did it not work, Nina? If it didn't, just send another one. You should have. Oh, there you are.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, I can
Hey.
hear you.
Oh, how are you?
I am good. I am good.
Very good. I just saw it now that you're a koala too now, right?
Oh, it's been that way for a while. I just haven't changed it back yet. I actually have to. And I haven't. I didn't have my phone all yesterday with the girls, but yeah, I've been a koala for like, I don't know, 2 months now or something like that.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see it. I didn't see the koala in your name.
It's at the end of my name. That's why it was like meant to be like funny, you know, with all the shit that was going on.
Yeah,
I just never changed it back, although I am going to at some point because like I got to shorten it. You know, it's too long right now. I got to shorten it. And then I got to change my new profile photo just back to my regular avatar because people like get mixed up whether it's me or not. So I'm like, oh shit, I got to make it less confusing for people. You know?
Yes, I get it. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I don't know which stream it was, but you talked a little bit about the whole YouTube lawyers are now involved with all the 45K of reports against TV's videos.
It was actually 45,381. That's that's the exact number as of 2 days ago. So I'm sure it's moved up since then.
And just can you give an update or just a summary? What's exactly, because I couldn't really follow.
I can give like sort of a little bit of a summary. It's going to be hard for people to follow because it's an ongoing thing. And there's only so much that I can actually say right now.
Okay.
Direct is always the best, Danny. Thank you for asking, my darling. But so, for instance, YouTube and Google are run by a company called Alphabet. That's their publicly traded company. It's called Alphabet. So when you make a report on YouTube about someone's channel, like Aiden's channel, you're making a report, but they have admitted to using bots, right? So a lot of the time you make the report about doxing or personal information and the bot goes, oh, nope, nothing to see here, because the bot doesn't know context. The bot doesn't know if it's a dog whistle. The bot doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So the bot goes, nope, nothing to see here. Now they have to program those bots, right? And you have to imagine that they're programming their bots to kind of ignore certain things to begin with, because that's, you know, profits over people. If Aiden has made over $5 million since 2020, okay, and YouTube has taken a little over $1 million and some change from that, what would make them want to shut this channel down if they're making that kind of money?
Motivation.
Right. There's no incentive to want to do it. Now, about 6 or so months ago, a group of us contacted YouTube's legal department, right? Their legal department via email, sent them hundreds of pages of documents, okay, to prove all this shit, that the court has said that what he has done is not journalism. And a lot of this was before he even had credentials during the trial. Then it was proving that he is doxing using people's names, numbers, addresses, things of that nature, and sending all of those documents with timestamps, because that's what they demand is timestamps. And it's like, we've explained this several times. It's not just timestamps. It's all of his videos have numerous violations. And so what we did was we ran his channel through a software that will tell you how many violations of terms of service. It takes the terms of service that YouTube has, reads the terms of service, and then decides which one of how many are violations and what the violations are.
Yes.
So each one of his videos has at least 12
YouTube rules.
Terms of service. So his is an average of 12 violations per video. Per video. Like, that's insane. So at what point does YouTube become liable? Well, the problem, or AKA Alphabet, right? Well, the problem is that they have this sort of immunity thing with the lawsuit that happened a while ago. But they no longer have immunity if they're helping to break a federal law. Cyberstalking is a federal law. If you are helping contribute to that, then you can be held liable. Now, once YouTube was put on notice that these are the things that he's doing, here's a multitude of evidence, right? Like, what have they done since then? About a week and a half ago, we had sent in, and I mean, it's got to be thousands of pages of documents at that point, to the point where it flagged it as a 24-hour tier 3 violation on his channel. So that means they have 24 hours to review what the fuck is going on here and look into it. Okay. They didn't do anything. So at that point, we then sent another letter letting them know, like, this needs to be dealt with. If it isn't dealt with correctly, right, including device locks for ban evasion, right, then it's going to become an actual legal problem. Now, if you guys want to work with us before it becomes a real huge legal problem, we're willing to do that under these terms, right? We named the terms, blah, 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 device locks, this, and this, right? Banning him from the platform for using it. The problem is A, everything is super slow, and B, so now we've had the Alphabet lawyers contact, right? We've talked to them on the phone about what the hell is going on. Now, after that, he did another show, which had 18 violations of it. 18. The next show he did was 18 violations, okay?
In one video?
Include in one video, okay?
Okay.
So at that point, we send that, and we're like, this is what every single day of you guys doing nothing does, right? You're creating more and more damage to multiple people's real lives because you're putting profits above people. Now, we also sent them the documented evidence that they are putting profits before people at that point. And that's not going to look great in front of a judge, I'll tell you that much. So, like, this is something that's bigger than just like small county court or small claims or state court. This is like this would become a federal lawsuit, because now we're dealing with a large company putting profits over people and contributing to cyber harassment and cyber stalking by actively ignoring certain things. And they've taken certain actions to try to wipe the system of complaints and documentation. Thankfully, we were smart enough to back all of that up, because you're not stupid enough to just leave it on their systems and not have backups of everything. But since we can prove all of that, that is them actively engaging in bad behavior, and that leads to them sort of helping him do what he's doing, right? By not taking any action and by trying to like get rid of things on the system that would prove that they've done nothing after they've been,
right. But what I don't get is why didn't they demonetize him? Because normally
he was at one point.
Yeah, but not for every video, right?
Right.
He still bragged about it, that he's not demonetized, and
right.
And people get demonetized for much less, right?
Much less.
And
Smaller channels do.
YouTube still get the ad revenues from the demonetized.
They sure do.
So that's
the thing. Even if they demonetize him, they would still make money off of his channel, right? So what incentive do they have to demonetize him if when he's monetized, he's making more money for them? What incentive is there? There isn't. And that's why you see them sort of take sort of underhanded things against smaller channels, and the bigger channels sort of get away with bloody murder because they're making more money for Alphabet,
Right.
It's unfortunate, but that's what they do. Hold on, guys, give me 1 second. My little has her friend in pickle. All right. You guys got to clean up. God, they made such a mess in her room. God, mom problems. I just cleaned her room, and I'm like, oh, God, help
I know
me.
that.
But I mean, at what point does a company like Alphabet become liable, right? And I can't give everybody everything that we have. That's like just scratching the surface. There's much more serious things that Alphabet has done, and that's what sort of leads to them contributing to his behavior and him harming people. And I'll save that for the court stuff, because you never want to give somebody a heads up of the most important shit. But that's sort of like a small rundown of what we're dealing with when it comes to a large company like Alphabet, and dealing with him sort of taking advantage of that. They don't have an incentive to shut it down. They're losing money,
Yeah, but at some point, maybe, a lawsuit is needed, against him or against the company.
I think there also needs to be a large lawsuit against him of people coming together. That's something we've also talked about, a lot of us, of a lot of victims sort of just coming together as one and having one attorney represent everyone. Yeah, I mean, we have to find out if he's still operating under like a LLC or a subsidiary or, you know, what to decide like how to go about it. But he can be held liable himself for it. You know, like that's, and Amy's right. It's not just him. He sends his trolls after his targets too, but that's incitement. That's inciting harassment, inciting that kind of behavior. And that's part of terms of service. You can't do that.
That's a RICO case.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, and I've talked about RICO a bunch of times, that he has done a lot of things that if the federal government really wanted to, they could charge him with RICO.
But it's very difficult.
So it's difficult. It's a lot, RICO. I mean, to be fair, in the past, the government loved to use RICO.
They love it, but they lost a
it.
lot of RICO cases as well.
They did. I think they went overzealous with it. It's part of the reason why they lost some of those RICO cases. But to me, it's like, at what point does someone start holding his feet to the fire? You know, and not just in the criminal sense, because there are other criminal things that he has done that they could have charged him with already.
Right.
They could have already charged him with quite a few other criminal cases. Why haven't they?
Yes. And I mean, even the illegal wiretapping of Karen Reed is a crime. They could have charged him with it.
Massachusetts,
I think they don't want to touch it anymore. They don't want to touch it. I think they're quite confident that they will
get him on the stuff they already have him on, which is fine. But if it was me or you, Nina, right? If it was me or you or anyone else, and we were just like off committing all of these crimes, even if we were being charged with 15 more, they would be charging us.
Yes. But why?
They would be charging us 100%. Every crime we committed, they would charge us. What makes him different is that they know that he'll go online and he'll, you know, smear the prosecutor, and the prosecutor's tires might get slashed, and his family might be dragged, and the family. And so it stops the DAs and the lawyers from wanting to charge him with further things, or the cops from wanting to arrest him. And it's like, but that's what you guys signed up for. You guys can't be so scared yourselves that you're refusing to do your job where you're supposed to keep everybody else safe.
Yeah, but if they would charge him, they would arrest him, they would revoke his bail, and he would be in jail.
So if they had done that 2 years ago on a multitude of things that we gave them evidence that he did, he'd be in jail. And a lot of these people would not have been harmed otherwise. So at what point also is the government then held accountable for all of the people who were hurt in the meantime because they didn't do their job?
Mm-hmm.
You know, where's the line for that? And that's a question that I ask myself all the time. You know, like, where is the line for when the government is responsible for not taking up the charges that they should have when they had evidence, they had witnesses, they have signed affidavits, and they didn't charge him? What point does that become a problem?
It's also protecting the community.
Yep, and you're not doing your job. You know, I think that's, you know, a discussion that I've had quite a few times, that, like, to me, it's fascinating to like study, but at the same time, it's so aggravating living in this state, knowing the amount of crimes that have been like told to the state police by witnesses and local PDs, the amount of affidavits that have been signed, the amount of screenshots and videos that have been provided, and they haven't done it. Like, why? Why not? Because at what point do these people then get to sue the government for inaction and their lives being upended by the inaction of the government? Where does the line draw there? That the government was so egregious in not doing their job that even more people were harmed.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
That's definitely a discussion that I've had with other people and thought about quite a bit. You know, like, at what point does the government become liable for a lot of this as well, for being afraid to not do their own goddamn job?
Yeah, I mean, but they have full immunity, right, to some point.
Well, the prosecutors do, but they also have a responsibility. So you'd have to prove that they were egregious, like very egregious, like blatantly
Yeah, and that's
egregious.
difficult. That's very difficult.
Well, it wouldn't be difficult in this case because I know the witnesses, I know the affidavits, I know who signed them, I know what evidence they gave. So, like, we could prove that all of this was given, and yet they still refuse to charge him. And then there's so many of the ones that are blatantly here in the public online, and we've still refused to charge him with this. All that information's been provided. Why? If it was me or you or anyone else, we would have been arrested and charged.
But I
So that
mean,
would be,
they
you know,
charged him with 16 charges. So
they did, but he could have been charged with a multitude of wiretapping already. He could have been
Right.
charged with a multitude of
and now they don't want to touch it
blackmail.
anymore.
Yep, they could have. He could have been charged with blackmail. He could have been charged with
Harassment again.
Criminal harassment. He could have been charged federally, right? If the federal government wanted, they could have charged him with cyber stalking. There's a multitude of other things.
Isn't it also? Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Sorry. Also, Massachusetts law or general law that you can't harass court people.
Court personnel. No, you can't.
Yeah, like judges, like lawyers, witnesses. And
even potential
he's
witnesses,
calling
potential witnesses. That means
Mr.
if you saw a crime or you think you have information on a crime of his, even if you didn't go to the police yet, you are a potential witness. And if he harasses you, that is witness intimidation. He could have been charged with a multitude of witness intimidation on top of the ones he's already been charged with.
Yeah, but also what I mean was like how he talks about judges, how he talks about the lawyers.
Yeah.
He calls Mr. Diller a dildo. He said multiple times very, very disturbing things about Judge Kropp. I mean, you can't. I mean, that's also, I think, against the law, right?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I mean, you can't. Well, you can talk about them. You can criticize them, but you can't harass them, right? You can't send people. You can't incite a mob of people to be calling them and talk and going to where their families are and slashing their tires and YBE's right. Interstate charges without the federal government being involved is difficult. That's why I say, like, the federal government really needs to do their part when it comes to the cyber stalking and harassment, because that's a federal law. We don't have one of those really in Massachusetts. New Jersey does, and that's being dealt with there. But when it comes to the cyber stalking, at least that part of the stuff, you know, he and I mean, even the charges I'm talking about, like the wiretapping, the witness intimidation, a lot of those, like a very big bulk of those that they could have already charged him with include people from Massachusetts. So they're not even people from out of state, they're people from inside the state. So they could have charged him with all of those without even involving the feds, and yet they didn't. The federal government also, in my opinion, should be doing their job when it comes to cyber stalking. They have only used that cyber stalking, cyber harassment law like a handful of times. What is the point of a law if it's never going to be applied? What is the point of it? You know?
And I think the feds in Massachusetts, sorry, I don't know, but I'm not so.
The U.S. Attorney's Office, I'm not either. You know, they did a lot of really kind of weird shit that no U.S. Attorney's Office should really be doing. And it makes me uncomfortable that they're not equipped to even deal with it without leaks or something else, you know?
Yeah, and they're not really motivated to go after people
right.
like that.
And Amy's right. Like, the federal government takes down El Chapo, but they can't take down, you know, Turtle Boy. They can. They're choosing to or not to. And I think that comes with, like, okay, El Chapo might try to, you know, take hits out on people, but they're more worried about eating fucking screaming nonsense that we can all prove is a lie. I mean, it's crazy to me. If you went and called 150 lawyers, right, to sue him, 149 of those lawyers are going to say, nope, I want nothing to do with anything that has to do with him. And not because they don't want to take a case like that, just simply because it has to do with him. With someone else, they would take it in a heartbeat. They want nothing to do with him, you know?
Right.
Sassy's right. A gag order. I think they've never given him a gag order because A, they know he'll never abide by it. B, what are really the results when you don't abide by a gag order? The judge isn't going to do shit anyway, and he's just going to leak it to someone else who's going to leak it. And that's the loophole, right? That's the loophole he's gone away for 10 years. They give him an order. They say, you can't release this. He hands it to someone else and they release it.
Right.
That's, you know?
Right. And then it's Meredith's fault.
It's always someone else's fault. Always.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Leah's fault for how long. It's any ex-girlfriend's fault that he's not with anymore that can tell the truth about him, or anybody who doesn't lie for him or agree with him anymore. It's everyone else's fault, right? It's Jen Altman's fault. It's Meredith's fault. It's Leah's fault. It's Lindsay's fault. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's, you know, Chris's fault. It's YBE's fault. It's everyone's fault except himself. It's crazy to me.
But I mean, he still has the viewers. He still got money out of it. That's crazy for me that they didn't demonetize him, because I
I
remember
know.
back then when I still was watching Melanie Little, you couldn't say a word like in the
Oh
chat,
God, I
and
know.
you
Yeah.
couldn't say the pandemic word. You couldn't say that. You couldn't say this because she was demonetized, or she said she was demonetized like immediately. And he can say whatever he wants, and he didn't get him. I mean, how
I was
how is that
demonetized
possible?
for 6 months, dude. I had to wait. I think it's 3 months where you can like reapply, or 4 months, whatever it was. 6 months I was fucking demonetized, and they wouldn't even give me a reason why. They literally said
Right.
something like reused content, and that was their excuse. Except all of my content is always my own, right? So the only thing that I could come up with is streaming the trial, but I always give my commentary. How many other channels streamed that trial? Right?
Yeah,
Like how many? So why am I the only one paying that price? Because at the time I'm smaller than them, and that's why I say like it's a lot of underhanded stuff with these companies where if you're smaller, you're not making as much money, so they'll apply those things like right away. You know,
that's crazy.
right away. But they won't apply it to the bigger creators. It's insane.
That's insane. Yeah.
But
he's not that big. Let's be real. I mean, he has.
He's not.
How many?
I mean, to be fair, in my eyes, I am now the
150,
largest thing ever.
160K?
I'm like I'm going to
That's
project it that I am going to be, huge. What do you mean? I'm going to be a huge channel. That's what I am right now. I'm projecting it. I'm just going to put it in the universe. No, he's not. Most people in the state of Massachusetts don't even know who the fuck he is.
Right. He's not a huge channel.
That is where the turtle chat came from, is because he was demonetized during COVID. And so then he got the turtle chat thing. Now, to be fair, the turtle chat thing is almost the exact same thing that I have, which is my link that I have there pinned to the top of the chat. All you do is click on it and use your own credit or debit card, right? Do you know that he told me that he paid someone on like Fiverr from, I think it was Pakistan, I believe. He paid someone on Fiverr, this is what he told me, to make that for him. Okay, first of all, when that came out that I could do that, right? It literally shows you and tells you how to fucking do it. It takes 10 seconds to do it. Like, you paid someone on fucking Fiverr, you fucking goddamn bozo. Like, I can't with him. I literally, but that's where his quote turtle chat came from. To be fair, I haven't named mine yet. I feel like it does need a name, but we haven't named it yet. I mean, we call them truth bombs when the donations come in. We call those truth bombs. But other than that, I haven't named my link yet. Maybe you guys can come up with a good one for me. Thank you, Kim. Keep moving. I appreciate you finding us and you being here. It's amazing. Love it. Everything's Meredith's fault. Come on. That's what he says, And that's the thing. If he says things over and over, right, then that's like where people start believing it. And that's part, if you guys go back to like the history of how I did a stream one day on like the history and the like psychology of cults and how they work, how they operate, and why they work and why they operate. And one part of that is mantras, saying the same things over and over and over and getting other people to like say them so that they end up believing them. So it doesn't matter if it's true or not. They just get said over and over and over and over,
And
it's a form of brainwashing.
Yeah, it is. Definitely it is. And people don't think for themselves. They just follow.
They just believe.
They just believe and don't. They don't
bother doing the research.
Yeah. And do you know more about the Kate Peter hearing? I didn't watch it.
I played the whole hearing. I played the whole audio of it on Friday.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So he essentially argued, for those of you that didn't see it, like Nina, he essentially argued against himself.
But did he
I'm not kidding. He argued against himself. He did perjure himself, yes. Yep.
How did he do that?
So he got up there and actually said that he was not the Ghetto Mellow account, that he couldn't possibly be the Ghetto Mellow account because it just talked in a space and it has an Australian accent. See, the problem with that is...
he didn't say that.
He did, I swear to God. The problem with that is we have a clip that someone apparently then sent to the judge because they posted it on Twitter. That he literally says, yes, I was the Ghetto Mellow account. They outed me for being that account. I deactivated it in like 2 months ago. And then the other day, someone magically reactivated it. Someone with an accent. So obviously that's not me anymore. But yes, that was my account. So it's like he admitted it was his account and he was using it at the time that Kate showed in the court that he was. And he lied in front of the judge. And then that clip was then sent to the judge later on. So it's like, He perjured himself there. He perjured
But then it
himself
was
when
too late. The judge already ruled.
he did
But
already
it
rule.
was too
But
late.
if Kate can ask for a
Reconsidering.
motion to reconsider, which is what
Yeah.
I would file if I was her. I would file a motion to reconsider based on A, new evidence, B, him committing perjury and lying. I mean, that's all he does. The fact that Judge Noonan even extended that order, I'm fucking blown away with. You have to
Yeah, that's
have
crazy.
true fighting words or threats, and not from the original order, like in the last year when it had been extended. None of that exists. Talking about him is allowed, First Amendment protected. Reporting on him harassing witnesses that he's not supposed to be around, First Amendment protected, okay? And so what he did was he got in there and argued that because Kate said he was in the Cape where he was, that was inciting people to find him, right? Which is exactly what he's done to how many people? Come on. And that she posted an unredacted screenshot with his phone number on it. So that incited people to call him, which is ridiculous because his phone number has been on the internet that he himself has posted, and so have many other people for the last goddamn 10 years, and he still never changed his number. So let's be honest here, okay? That has nothing to do with any fucking thing, right? But he gets
never
up there and
changed
says,
his number?
no, never changed his number. He's never changed it. So, like, I don't know how you could even argue that at this fucking point, right? When you've never changed your fucking number in 10 years that it's been on the internet over and over and over. Like, what in the actual fuck? Like, so he gets up there and argues to the judge. He's afraid for his safety and that Kate's going to hurt him. He's afraid. He's so afraid. He's afraid. I'm terrible. I'm afraid. And then he tells the judge that that's incitement and it's further intimidating and harassing him to talk about him on Twitter and post things about him on Twitter. And it's inciting other people to do so. Like,
Such
what?
a baby, eh? Such a baby.
What the fuck?
But at for some reasons or some point, I think it's better for both of them that they stay away from each other, maybe. You know what I mean?
That's the
Maybe
thing.
it's
What the
healthier.
actual fuck, dude? You know, like, how in the actual fuck do we allow somebody to get in front of a judge like that and for a judge to extend an order like that? I'm sorry, but where the truth threats are fighting words. And what he did was put on record, he's such an idiot. He put on record that he thinks that by allowing someone to have someone else's phone number or putting it on the internet in any way, that that's harassment and incitement and that it makes people fear, right? And that
but he does it all the time.
Right? Telling people's locations, that is fearful. It makes him fearful, and it's harassment and it's intimidation. So he literally is fighting and arguing against his own argument that he's making in court and then putting it on a court record like a fucking absolute buffoon. I love that for him. I absolutely love that for him. Thank you, Aiden. You're a moron.
It will be used against him.
Yep. And I love that for him.
That's good. That's good.
I love that.
I have another question. Sorry.
Yeah.
If I'm talking too long, just kick me out.
No, girl, go shoot.
But you know the law better than me. So let's say he will get convicted at some point by a jury. I thought about the victim statement. How much will come in? Is it can some victims who were victims after the fact, so other than the witnesses?
That depends on the judge. Sometimes the judge will allow people to do that, and sometimes the judge won't. If you weren't involved in the case, you weren't a victim in the case, a lot of judges just keep to the victims that were in the case. Sometimes a judge will allow someone who wasn't a victim in the case.
Bad act after the fact, you know what I mean?
Right. So that depends really on the judge. A lot of times they like to just keep it to the witnesses. But I've seen people, like, if you watch the Harmony Montgomery case, they let her foster parents or previous foster parents make a victim impact statement. So, like, that really depends on the judge and what the judge sees as whether it's relevant or not in all of it. Yeah. But I mean, the judge that I'll give you this, right? The judge that he has now, I couldn't ask them to give a better judge.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Couldn't ask the state to give a better judge to deal with him, because the judge that he has is originally from Plymouth County, this judge, and he's a very fair but no nonsense judge. He's not going to play Aiden's attorney's little fuck games, their little innuendo, Bradle's narrative game. He's not going to play that game, and he's not going to allow Bradle to play that game. So That's not good for
And
me.
bedroll letters are gone.
Yep. Federal letters are not a thing. Bradel's narrative and not, because what happens is Bradel gets up there and spins narrative. He doesn't argue a legal argument. He points fingers at everyone else. Well, this person did this and this person did that and that person is bad and this person is bad. And he doesn't actually argue anything legally, right? And
I mean, he
lot of
makes a legal
times-
argument with the First Amendment, but the judge,
but that's it.
judge just shut it down and said,
And
"Yeah,
the judge has
that's
already
up to
said
the
that's
jury
not it.
to
Yeah, it's up to the jury to decide.
Yeah.
Like,
right."
no, that's not a thing, right? So it's like a First Amendment's not absolute. We all know that. You can't just do and say whatever you want
Right.
without consequences.
Right.
Hate speech, incitement, that's not First Amendment protected.
Right.
And to be clear here, many people don't realize this, and I see this all the time, where people are like, oh, well, journalistic privilege. Let me make myself clear. Massachusetts has no journalistic privilege. There is no such thing in this state. He does not have any journalistic privilege here. None. Zero.
Yeah, and
also,
yeah, and
that
and
wouldn't
let's-
save him anyway.
yeah, but what's journalistic privilege? It's about not giving up your
It's about
sources.
sources,
That's-
right? Exactly.
that's
It does
journalistic
nothing
privilege.
for him anyway. But this is, you
That
have
has
to think
nothing
about
to
it.
do with harassment.
Exactly. A lot of these people don't realize that. He just says keywords like that, right? And they repeat it as if it's actually gonna help him.
I think it's very bad that
It's very bad.
that
for him.
journalistic privilege is not that journalists don't have a
We
privilege
should
in
have it.
Massachusetts.
But
They
we
should
don't.
because the sources always should be protected.
Well, you know
I
what? I'm going to
disagree
tell you
with
this
that.
much, Nina. My
But
sources
that's
are
just
always
nothing to
protected.
do
I'll
with
take that shit
has
to the
nothing
grave.
to do with harassment.
No, because if you're
That's
a
a different
journalist, you're going
thing.
to keep your sources private anyway. I would never put any of my sources in a scenario where I had to produce anything because there's nothing to
Right.
produce. I'm not stupid enough to keep shit around like that to produce, right? Like
Right.
my sources will forever be protected because it'll go to the fucking grave with me. Sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry. If you want to protect your sources, you're going to protect your sources. He doesn't give a fuck about protecting sources, dude. He racks his
It's not
sources
about
out
that.
faster than people can be a source for him.
No,
You know?
that's not about that. No. And yeah, okay. So, but victims that were victims of him after the fact, after the charges, or which had nothing to do with his actual charges, but they can write letters to the judge, right?
Yeah, people can write letters to the judge. They'd be part of the public record, but yeah, people can
Yeah.
write letters to the judge. I mean,
So they
it's
should.
not, a lot of the times it's not really going to have a bearing on his decision because he has to base his decision on the legal part, right?
Yeah.
If
Right.
Aiden chooses a judge trial, which if he didn't have this judge, I would say he would choose a judge trial, not a jury trial, because he's that fucking stupid. And you don't want to leave it into the hands of 12 people. What if most of those people can't stand Turtle Boy? You know what I'm saying?
But he still thinks the jury won't.
There's no
convict him.
chance. There's no fucking chance. There is
I know,
no
but-
fucking chance. Like,
But
no
he
chance.
thinks that.
Conlan said, forgive me, listen to the audio of TV in court. He sounded like a whiny pussy and a liar. No, he is a whiny pussy and a liar. No, nothing to forgive, my friend. That's exactly what he is and who he is. You know, like he is dumb enough to argue against his own legal argument and if fucking just to extend a restraining order on Kate for a year. I mean, what does that really do anyway? Like he dragged Meredith and Karen into his last hearing. Why? Because he needs these people to do things for him. So he needs to try to drag their names in so he can try to drag, like, he thinks if he says their names that he'll get like records of theirs that will help him. The problem with that is you can't just say a random person's name and then magically they're part of the case. Hi, B. Harley, nice to see you. Yes, people will do victim impact statements if he's convicted. Most of the time it'll just be the people that that have been affected by that specific case. But like I said, it depends on the judge. Sometimes the judge will allow other people depending on if he thinks it's relevant or not. Thank you, B. Harley. Yeah, karma does not discriminate. Neither does cancer. You're right. And he lost his mother to cancer. So that weird hashtag cancer shit, like he is such a disgusting human being, you know? Gross. He's not bright, YBE. We know that, right, Nina? We know he's not a smart guy.
No, he's not.
Not
He's
even a
not.
little.
I don't even think he's a good manipulator. Actually,
I don't
saw
either. Once
better-
you see it, you can't
I saw
unsee it.
better
That's the thing.
manipulator than him.
Dude, did you see the oh god, what was it that Bettero said the other day? I literally had to reply and be like, you are the worst attorney on planet Earth. Okay, worst. I would not want my fucking attorney speaking publicly about stupid little things that happen here and there. Because what that makes it look like is my attorney is more focused on what publicly he can say on YouTube or Twitter than my fucking case, right? In his purple crayons. Like, someone get Harold a re-up of his purple crayons. I think he ran out, right? Like, what in the fuck is going on? He contradicts himself constantly and consistently. Yeah. And the best part about it is he contradicts his own lawyers like a moron.
Right. And I don't think his lawyers like him at all.
I mean, how could you? To be fair, he's made them look like worse buffoons than they actually are.
Right.
A million times
I think
over.
they're both good lawyers, but it's just dragging
I wouldn't hire
them
either one of
in
them.
some shit. And
Bradel could lose his license for shit that he hid while he was a prosecutor that someone spent over a decade in jail for. And Mr. Bettero has previous clients that had a sort of high profile case out where he's from that said that they had to literally fire him because he was more worried about the media than he was about the damn case.
Okay.
So that was years before Aiden never hired him. Like, you can still go and look at that like review from someone, and it literally tells you it's from years ago. So like, these are the things that, you know, we got to look at when it comes to some of these people. I would not hire better. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. And Bradel never had ethics. There's a reason why he's been in front of the PBO board. There's a reason why he could lose his license. Like, he doesn't have ethics. Do I want a good defense attorney? Yes. But do I want one with no ethics to the point where they're willing to lie or commit crimes on the behalf? No, because what happens then is that opens up all the communications later on. If they found that Bradel committed any crime with Aiden or was in support of allowing it to, guess what? They get all of his stuff.
And if you see some of the text messages, I would never talk to my lawyer like this, or vice versa. It's I don't know. It's too
crazy.
Lazy. It's too sloppy,
right?
Too lazy. It's just
I did love though the judge the other day when he was like, and she said something to my former friend Karen Reed. And the judge was like, and what does that have to do with you?
Yeah.
What does that have to? Judge literally said, and what does that have to do with you? Like, he just had to throw Karen's name in there for some clout. Like, and the judge is like, her talking to someone who's a former friend of yours is no fucking relevance, bud. Like, none whatsoever. None.
And the judge has huge respect of Cosgrove. You could hear that and see that, and I understand Cosgrove is old and he's a little bit slow and he's not a technician, but I think he knows the law very well. He
used to be a judge. He's a retired judge. He knows the law.
He knows it, and to disrespect him like that is not cool. And I'm you know that I think Karen Reed is not guilty, but I would never call a lawyer dildo. It's Mr. Diller. He's still a lawyer. He's doing his job. Let him do his job like everyone else. Leave the lawyers
it's a civil case too that he has nothing to do with. He just, what he wants is to drum up the attention, right? By doing his ridiculous little nicknames
and he made a
like
mistake.
Trying to be funny.
Right.
Like,
move on.
So that's the thing. He thought what she said was I'm fucking gay. What she said is again a fucking Guinness. She's just got a heavier like Fall River type accent. So like, okay, fine.
I heard I'm done. I'm fucking done.
So she said again a fucking
you. Yeah. Right. Okay. So everyone heard
like,
something
okay,
else.
Cool. Right. Yeah, exactly. So like, okay, cool. Like, he retracted that, but the bottom line still remains the same of why he could use it, because the rules for a criminal case are not the same for civil. He could use it in a civil case. That's the bottom line.
And I think the civil judge, is not playing the drama game.
No, they're not. They're not. And that's a good thing. And now Amy's right. Cosgrove has a second person now, at least, that is helping him. And, I agree with Conland Ford here. I keep letting him run his fucking mouth, right? Because all he does is dig himself into a larger hole. I mean, he's been doing that for quite some time. And now that many eyes are open, there's many more eyes on it, which is actually nice to see. I feel good about that because for so long, I feel like it was so little of us that were just trying to warn people and no one was listening, that it was extremely frustrating watching him hurt numerous people over and over and over when they could have just listened to us and maybe stepped like away from him, further away from him. you know?
Yeah,
And that's the other thing.
you
Why
remember?
haven't they charged some of his minions? YBE's right. Like, they could charge some of his minions if they want. Like, they usually do go after the leader, right? He is the architect, like YBE said, but like, they could essentially charge some of these people who are doing his dirty work.
Yeah.
You know?
And you remember when Bedrow and Bradle were crying about Discovery that's not coming in and blah blah blah. It's quite quiet since
Well, you have to remember, a lot of the time they do that, though, they do it just for the public. There's not actually a problem. They're not actually not getting things. What they're doing is they're doing that for public consumption. Like, that's it.
They get it now and they see, oh shit, that's a lot.
Yes.
What's going
And
on?
stuff
Oh
that's
shit,
not going to help them.
we better be quiet now.
Yeah.
We better.
Well, there's a lot of discovery that's not going to help them. And you have to remember, right? Aiden has never been good with his own lawyers. Like, he's always lied to his own lawyers. And so the problem is he'll say, no, there's nothing like that exists. No, I don't have anything to worry about. You guys have nothing to worry about. And then the lawyers get a dump of records and they're like, Aiden, you said none of this fucking existed. Now we have a whole shit show of documents that show that there is a ton of shit that you said that didn't happen, because he's too embarrassed to actually say, like, okay, yeah, I did do some of that. If you have an attorney, your attorney cannot turn you into the police for a crime, dude. Okay, that's the whole point of attorney-client privilege. You can go to your attorney and say, hey, I murdered someone. They still have to defend you. But at least if you give them all of the details, the correct ones, and everything that actually did happen, they can defend you correctly. If you lie to your attorneys because you're too embarrassed to admit things that you did, you're screwing yourself and your attorneys. And that's what he keeps doing. He screws himself and his attorneys because he lies to them. And then they get fucking surprised, which they shouldn't be at this point, but they are, with a bunch of shit that he said never existed and that he didn't do, you know?
And I still think at some point,
win his own ratchet tournament. Someone said he should win his own ratchet tournament.
I still think at some point Bedrow really wanted to quit. You remember that weekend? I think he was like, I'm out. And he
should have, though. He should have bowed out. Any self-respecting attorney at this point in the game would have left, right? Instead, he put his little greedy, Harold and the purple crayon hands out, and we're like, give me more purple crayons and another 20,000 and I'll stay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, any self-respecting attorney would have known by now that what's going to end up happening is when Aiden does lose any of his cases, he's going to then later on appeal them. He's going to say it was ineffective assistance of counsel. He's going to
he will throw all under the bus.
And throw them all under the bus because that's who he is. And when he doesn't get his way, he throws a tantrum like a baby back little bitch, kind of like, actually exactly like this one, like this.
Can you please go back?
I can't see. What is it?
Can you please go back?
It's his little tantrum on the floor. It's his little, his little, his little tiny turtle fist.
He's 45, right?
44 or 45, yeah. Yeah. I couldn't imagine. Listen, I have PTSD and pretty bad PTSD, and I have certainly never done that. Okay? No. Have I cried? Maybe rock back and forth a little while I'm having like a panic attack? Sure. Got on the floor, drunkenly, put my little turtle fists on the ground. I can't go back. Nope, not once, not ever. That has nothing to do with a panic attack. It's not PTSD, which he then later admitted it wasn't.
Tantrum. That's it.
Well, after, it's an adult grown man tantrum. Now let's remember, just seconds or even minutes before that little tantrum he had, he was lacing up his shoe, and under his breath in that video, he said to Meredith, "Fuck with me, keep fucking with me," like a threat.
Yeah.
Like, he is who he is, folks. Okay, there is no explaining it away as some sort of anxiety or panic or PTSD. That is an insult to those of us who do have those things. Okay,
that's not that. No,
it's a fucking tantrum.
From what should he have PTSD?
He doesn't. He claims he has PTSD from being in jail.
From what?
No, you were in jail for 60 days. Stop it. Okay, listen. I am someone who's been sober almost 20 years. I've sat in a prison cell for having illegal drugs a very long time ago, but I've sat there. I also then full circle came around and worked in the prison system, right? So like my life went full circle. I love helping people. I love that. I loved that job. I physically can't do that job anymore because you have to be able to literally hold a full-grown man like Aiden having a tantrum just like that. And I physically cannot anymore. But I loved my job, okay? When I physically could do that job, I loved my job. And I loved my career in the prison system. And I loved helping people.
And you know a little bit about drugs. I don't
Mhm.
know a lot of. I know about drugs, but not the actual drugs. Actually,
Yeah, I mean
he
they're
smokes weed,
classified different
but I
ways.
think he's on something or
Well,
legal
he's
drugs.
prescribed to the
Yeah,
Adderall, and the Adderall
it's
is
the
like
Adderall.
a lot of the. So I'll say there's the good statistic of people that need it. I have friends that have like ADHD, like they need it. I have a friend who I've been friends with longer than my oldest daughter, who's 21. So I've been friends with this person like 25 years. And she's always been like ADHD, like always. And so she's on it, takes it as prescribed, she needs it. And even that, I think her dose actually needs to be pulled up a little. But there are a lot of people that will go and get it just to sell it or to overtake it. To a lot of college kids will use it to stay up studying and doing all of these things. So like, I have no doubt in my opinion that he does not use it as prescribed. There's been way too
So
many instances of
Adderall is
people.
supposed to be for
It's an upper.
ADHD.
It's supposed to be for ADHD. It's an upper if you use it and you don't really need it and like you're overusing it. So it makes you like stay awake a long time, a little jittery, a little
like cocaine.
You know, yes, it's a lot of people call it the poor man's cocaine.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
exactly.
so he's on that.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. If Aiden was actually doing any activism, like YBE said, he doesn't know a single thing about activism or being an advocate. I've been doing advocacy work for almost 20 years. I've sat there and I've talked in front of our lawmakers. I've had meetings with our lawmakers. I've helped change laws. Like, these are things that you would do as an advocate. So he pretends like he's an advocate of something, right?
Oh, no,
he doesn't
he's
even
not.
know what the fuck an advocate is or does.
No.
Like, so what?
He doesn't even want to be one.
No, he
wants
doesn't.
to be he
wants to be a perpetual fake victim, even though he calls everyone else a fake victim. He wants to be a perpetual fake victim. I actually do know some self-respecting attorneys. That is funny, but yes, I do. So do you know any self-respect? I do, actually. I do know plenty of attorneys that wouldn't have touched him with a fucking 10-foot pole. Like, you know what I mean? Not a chance. Not a chance.
And I think the other lawyer from the O'Keefe family, which they hired, Bibi Fell. I think she's a good one, right?
I don't know much really about her, but there's so many decent attorneys out there that wouldn't touch him. He went to Rosemary Scarpicchio and she wanted nothing to do with it.
Oh, really? He did?
Mm-hmm, yeah. I know a couple of attorneys that he went to, and a couple of them were like, no, not even, no.
And I mean, they represent murderers and everyone. Yeah. So, okay.
Rosemary did a great job when it came to the drug lab scandal with Attorney Ryan. Her and Attorney Ryan just never gave up in that case, and they got a lot of people justice in the drug lab scandals. Yes, two of them here in Mass, the state, you know, scandals. It's just fucking crazy, you know. Get him the Kleenex and his pacifier. He does need a pacifier, you know. I think she's right. I mean, yes, it does look bad when someone says, like, "Do you have any idea what's on those phones?" Yeah, that definitely sounds bad and sounds sus. And I think that's why Diller put it in his motion there. Is like, what are you even if she didn't say, "I'm fucking dead," and she said a fucking again, it's not really about that part of it. I think it was more about the part where she's like, "Do you have any idea what's on that phone?" Like that. Yeah, it sounds suspicious. You know, it gives pause for anyone, you know, looking at it. So.
Yeah, but they will turn it over like in the normal due process.
It's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, calm down.
I mean, right. It's not that serious. That's the thing. Nina's right. Like, calm down. It's not that serious. It's a normal process of things that are gonna happen. Right. People, and Aiden is one of them, likes to sensationalize something that's not sensational. It's ordinary. Right. It happens all the fucking time. You know?
And I love that the judge didn't even got into the drama and just said, listen, let's have a meeting or mediation in the chambers and listen to it again and then move on, file your motion or whatever, preserve the evidence, you have to turn it over.
And can't delete anything.
Of course we will turn it over. So no fucking deal. I don't know was, yeah.
Touch my ass. That's a cute name. But they said you could clean your houses, do a podcast, coach an NFL team all in 1 hour while changing diapers. They're referring to Adderall. I mean, that's true. News said 90% of YouTubers do Adderall. New York Times. Yeah, no, I would never, not even prescribed. I don't know. It would make me feel wonky. I feel like I'm not a fan of like meds in general. I
No.
have some I have to take for my liver and my heart. I was born with a bad liver and I have issues with my heart. But if I didn't need those to like live, I wouldn't take them. Like for PTSD, I was on it for a very short period of time. And then I got into some really like hands-on type therapies so that I could learn to deal with it without medication in my system, you know? And I prefer to do it that way if I can. Obviously, if it's something like your heart or your liver and you need it to survive, like obviously, yes, but I prefer not to take any medication. But women do take it to lose weight. That's true. They do. And I think originally at one point they realized it would work for weight loss, but then they also realized that it like did a lot of like making you jittery and not allowing you to sleep and, you know, a lot of that kind of stuff.
But do you need a prescription for Adderall in
Yeah,
the
you need a
USA?
prescription. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can't get it in the pharmacy.
No, you got to get a prescription. You have to. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, and I mean, Holly's right. Meds aren't going to help him. Like, he's just an equal human being. Like, I said this earlier in the show, like, meds, jail, like, even a mental institution like the jail that I worked in, that's specifically for mental health. None of that's going to help him. He is who he is. Narcissists will never change. It's not the medications, right? The medications aren't going to change him. No amount of therapy is going to change who he is or what he does, unfortunately, right? Like, oh yeah, that's YBE. He's been claiming that he alone saved Karen for a long time. Like, that's what he claims. He saved her. He raised all the money. Nobody else did anything but tailgate, right? No one else did anything but that. Now that's his new thing, right? Like, that's his new thing, is to say no one else did everything. He did everything, which is so fucking ridiculous. You know?
Can you explain the term? Can you explain the term tailgater for me? I don't.
Sure.
Really
Yeah. So, like, you go to concerts, you guys have concerts, right? In Switzerland. So, like,
yes.
Say you go to a concert, but before the concert, you're outside and people bring little grills and they drink and they play games and like that's tailgating. That's what we call tailgating.
Oh, is that an insult?
No, I mean, in the way he's using it, yes. Essentially, he's saying all they were doing was partying. But like, usually when you're talking about tailgating, like it's something normal that people do for like concerts or like outside events,
I get it.
festivals and shit. People will be outside tailgating and then they'll go in for the part they want to go in for and then they'll go back outside and tailgate, you know?
Okay, so yeah, that was insulting.
Like Country Fest. There's a ton of tailgating at Country Fest here every year, you know? But I mean, in the way that he's using it, yeah, he's trying to use it as an insult. Like all they did was tailgate, right? Like that's his thing.
But that's what he actually did.
Yeah, like, so because people don't normally tailgate a murder trial. So like that's, you know, like that's a little disrespectful. So like his whole thing is like, oh, you guys just tailgated. I raised all the money. It's like, bro, you were standing right there with everyone else. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Shut the hell up. Like,
yeah, and some did. I mean, let's be real. Some did.
It's just weird. Like, it's just weird to me that like people believe anything that comes out of his mouth at this point. Like,
okay, and then I have another question.
Yeah,
I
go.
have so many questions. I'm sorry.
I have so many answers. That's okay.
So
I love having answers for questions. See, this is what I mean. Like, if the quote other side had talked to me a million years ago, like we could have had a lot of conversations. And I had a lot of answers for a lot of questions. Let's do this shit.
Just kick me out if I'm
no, girl. Please. You're fine.
I watched the Bus Stop live a couple of days ago. I don't know which day it was, and he was talking at 9 o'clock. I mean, it was 3 or 4
almost 9 a.m. where he is.
In my time, it was in the afternoon, but in your time, it was 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
Oh shit, Nina, can you unblock Christina? She can't listen to you on Spaces.
Oh, wait a second. What's her name?
It's at Christina with a K, and then 2 A. So it's 3 A's, like Christina, Kristina, and then 2 more A's. But
she has to be nice to me. I have a reason for blocked her.
She will. I promise. She's a nice person. And
I
then
think so, but
capital M and then capital A.
tell me again. At?
Okay, at KRISTINA, and then
Yes.
2 more A's, and then a capital M and a capital A.
Capital M and capital A.
Yep. Stands for Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, here she is.
Yeah.
Okay,
And she can listen
unblock.
to you that way.
Be nice
I've
to me.
unblocked a lot of people since
I
the
blocked a
trial
lot of
ended.
people.
And funny enough, I have not had to reblock anyone who has asked me to unblock them. I'm actually quite proud.
But I trust
And-
you. I unblocked her.
Yeah. No, she's a good egg. You guys might not
Okay.
believe the same thing in the same case, but she knows how to be, kind and civil, even if you don't. Like,
Yeah.
there's other things to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah,
plenty of
we
other
can
things to talk about.
disagree. That's
Right.
okay. That's not an issue. No.
Right. And I think a lot of people during the case kind of got almost out of their own personality with shit that Aiden was doing, because all he does is create like chaos and anger and hatred.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people sort of fed off that when they normally wouldn't have. And so I've been seeing a lot, at least since that part's been over, of people actually sort of like opening up and talking to other people and unblocking
Yeah, I met a
people
lot of
and
people. I
yeah,
met a lot of people who think Karen's guilty, and they're so nice people. So,
wonderful people, right? Like
Yeah.
not everyone's a shitbag, Like
Right.
I'm not gonna punish everyone for like the small group of idiot minions he has. That's not fair.
no.
I'm a reasonable human being. You know what I mean? I'm not a mean person. I don't, go out just to be mean to people. That's not who I am.
As long as we can just talk normally, that's
Right.
fine. But
And that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of the time, a lot of that was lost. I feel like, a lot of that was lost with Aiden's anger and his
Right.
just throwing all of that shit to everyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like at least people know who he is now.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And I wanted to ask you about what I watched one of his post-up live at, as I said,
Yeah.
like 9 or 10 in the morning, and he was talking about sucking dicks and
Oh God.
porn and how cool it is to be nasty. And I don't know, is that normal? Like 9 in the
No,
morning?
of course not.
You're talking
Fucking
about
of course
that?
not. That's who he is. But I honestly think that he. Honestly, I honestly feel like he needs Sexaholics Anonymous. I'm not kidding. I honestly feel like he needs Sexaholics Anonymous. I feel like that overly sexual, everything has to be about that all the time. Like there's nothing wrong with being a sexual being, right? We're all sexual beings. We all know what that is. We all have, a lot of us have
maybe
children,
not 9
right?
o'clock in the morning and you have an audience,
Right.
and maybe families are listening, and I don't know. It's
just who he is. I honestly think that he has a problem. I'm not kidding. I honestly believe in
with
my heart.
sexuality.
And I think one of the things that really rung true in my head is I heard Meredith say something along the lines of well, we were together 5 days a week and he was still cheating on me. He couldn't keep it in his pants 2 days a week.
I believe that.
Volume.
I believe he's,
you know what I mean?
He's addicted.
Right. That speaks to me as if you are addicted to drugs or addicted to shoe shopping or addicted to, you know what I mean? That's that kind of behavior. You can't stay faithful 2 days a week. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Not that he ever could stay faithful anyway. I mean, I think the biggest problem that I saw way back when they first got together, and I said this, loudly for a long time, is it's not going to be if, it's going to be when he trashes her, because eventually they'll split and he will trash her in the same way that he's done to every other woman that he's ever split with, because it has to be their fault and not his. And he cannot have the world knowing who he really is. So therefore, he needs to shit on everyone else and make them, quote, bad to his audience. So his audience will then think those people are bad. And it doesn't matter how many times he lies. Doesn't matter. Most of us couldn't prove those lies. So the things that he said about me or other people, most of us, we didn't date him like Meredith did, right? So we couldn't prove that the things he was saying were lies. Meredith could. She had all the text messages between them, all of this, all of that. So she could say, well, here's when he said this, here's when he did that. And so I think that sort of opened up people's eyes more, where they were able to say, all right, you know what, maybe we should have listened to Elise, or maybe we should have listened to Kate, or maybe we should have listened to some of these people who were telling us this is the shit he was doing, when we kept saying, no, you guys are just lying and don't like him. Like, no, that's not it, dude. He's a dangerous, harmful individual.
Yeah, but Elise, explain something to me. Maybe
Mhm.
I'm stupid.
No,
But
stop it.
My head
There are no
is
stupid questions, my friend. My dad used to tell me all the time, there's no stupid questions
no,
you
my
can't learn
head is
without
spinning
asking.
around. My head is spinning around that. So he does this bus stop live, which has something to do with his kids, right? He's
Oh, God.
bringing his kids or to the bus stop.
To the bus, yeah. He
Yes.
goes to his ex-wife's house and brings them to the bus. I think she's got to
Okay.
probably go to work, so he's got to put them on the bus. Which is like,
Okay.
okay, he goes there for 10 seconds, he puts them on the bus, and then he leaves.
Okay, he's bringing his son or his kids to the bus.
Yep.
And the next minute, when he's going live, he's talking about porn and sucking dicks.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Something's
It's just
weird.
it's weird, right? Yeah, it is. It's fucking weird. I mean, do you remember? I remember this.
Or-
Do you
or is
remember?
this-
And I
is
didn't
this
watch
bus
it, but do you
stop-
remember
is this
the
bus
Raggedy
stop-
Ann doll? Do you remember the Raggedy
Sorry?
Ann doll? Do you remember the Raggedy Ann doll? Do you remember him doing the whole like, oh, how do we do butt dials? And he needed to use the Raggedy Ann doll to pretend to have sex with to see how a
No.
butt dial could have happened? Yeah, it was fucking weird and bizarre and crazy. And like, I don't understand why anyone, like, that's not cute. It's not funny. It's not like, it's disturbed. He's a disturbed
It's
individual.
disturbing. And
He's disturbed.
does he really pick up his son? I'm not sure.
So he sees his
I
son
think
on
he's
the
just
weekends, but
driving
not the
around.
daughter. She doesn't really. Well, that's the other thing is a lot of the times he'll say, oh, I'm canceling the show. I have to do whatever with my kids. And what we find out later on is he didn't do it with his kids. He took a girl to
Right.
go do it.
I think he's just driving around, actually.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
he does.
he does bus stops for
Even his
kids.
wife said to him, like, for years you've been running around disappearing on the fucking weekends, bro. And he's like, well, I never did it when the kids were awake. I always waited until they went to sleep. Like, that makes it any better to run around and disappear for the weekend when your kids are sleeping, like, or go out on dates with other
that's
women
so
while your kids are
sad.
sleeping makes it somehow better. Like, again, like B. Harley said, that's his narcissism. Like, they think narcissists oftentimes think that what they're thinking in their head is a good idea. They think what they're doing is a good idea. It's smart. They're so cunning. They're amazing. And the problem with that is when the public sees it, they're like, who the fuck would ever think that that's a good idea? Their perception of what is and what isn't is very fucked up, right? It's not normal at all. But a narcissist
I'm
always
really
thinks they're the
questioning-
most amazing person in the room, the smartest person in the room, the most amazing, the awesomest, handsomest, best person ever. Like, that's what they think of themselves.
I really think he fakes the bus stops.
I
He's
mean,
just driving
it's a possibility. It is a
because I
possibility.
never
Okay, guys, I don't know what just happened. I had a power surge and my entire computer's all shut off out of nowhere. I don't know what the hell happened.
I don't know. I lost the feed, and then my phone did the same thing, so I had to switch off the Wi-Fi. I don't know what just happened. I got a power surge and it shut off everything, girl, ladies and gents. I don't know what the fuck happened. So I'm gonna wrap this up and figure out what the hell happened. Just to make sure my computers looks like they're turning back on, so it looks like they're not damaged. Thank God. I don't know what happened. It just shut everything off in the house, including the TVs, because I heard the other TV shut down. So it looks like we got some sort of power surge. Maybe the power company's working on something. I don't know. But I'm not going to take the risk that they screw up my computers. So I'm going to end this anyway. It's been 3 hours and 45 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow morning anyway, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably hop on a Spaces later anyway. I'm just going to go hang out with my little minions for the rest of Sunday. But I do love your stinking faces so much. If you guys want to support the channel, we always appreciate it. There are a bunch of different ways you can do so. We have Venmo, we have Cash App, we have PayPal. We have a link in the chat on YouTube that's pinned to the top of the chat that you can use any debit or credit card. And we have an Amazon wish list, which I apparently now have to add other things to. I appreciate those of you who have bought from the wish list. I love your stinking faces. I will add a few things tonight since a few things came off, which never happens in one day. So I appreciate all of you so very much. If you donate when I'm not live anymore, we'll just read it tomorrow. I agree. I don't understand how many people send him money either, J-Bugs. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry you got booted. I got booted, Nina. My power surge, but I love your stinking faces. I'll try to start up Spaces probably in a few hours. Give myself a little while to eat something and hang out with the kids. But I love your stinking faces, and I will see you guys tomorrow anyway. Bye, everybody.